Hi, I'm Jamie. Welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for December 9th. And AJ is already here, and Karen clearly is not quite yet. Hi, AJ.
Hello, everyone.
I am...
We is here.
He is here, yeah. I do not have... I see the picture up yet. I didn't even realize I didn't yet. But I am getting there. My arm is killing me. I didn't know your arm could hurt from getting an MRI on your head. I had to lay, I guess, still and
Jamie,
no, I'm seriously. I laid like this.
I think Karen and I need to invest in a plastic bowl for you for Christmas.
No, I had to get an MRI. It's for my migraines. I got an MRI.
But I know, but you always got something going on.
I know, I do. I can't. But you have to like lay real still, and I don't know. Like my arm was cramping up so bad because I had pulled a muscle before, and it's like hurting still. So I don't know. I did not expect that to happen, but it did. So all right, let me get my pictures up. So I guess tonight, hey Jen. We're going to talk about Stranger Things 3 and 4, as well as Pluribus number 6. And like I said, I guess that we can sort of, I don't know, tell what we thought about the war between the land and the sea, but we won't do our review, we decided, until the show actually comes on here in the States, since most people will not have seen it yet.
Yeah, I say boo on Disney. They should have worked out a better deal.
Yeah, I didn't even know it wasn't going to be on until I went to, because somebody said, hey, don't forget it's on this weekend in a text message. And I got all excited and waited till 3 a.m. and found out it wasn't on. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Listen, I didn't say when it was on. I just said that it was on this weekend.
Okay. We said Sunday. But yeah, it was not on. But I'll have that ready for when Karen gets here. But yeah, I guess while we're waiting for Karen, we might as well talk about it. What did you think of the show?
I liked it. I and it's funny because I watched the trailer and I was a little dismayed because I was like, okay, I like Russell Tovey, but I was like, why are we introducing a new character? This is this unit show. So I'm expecting it to be more about the unit characters. And from the trailer, I'm like, I feel like I felt like, so watching the episode, I felt, okay, this does feel a little more unit, and I get the Russell Tovey character and the whole point behind it and everything, which is kind of creative the way that they did it. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was interesting. I can't wait to see the other 3. Yeah, so there was 2 this week, 2 next week, and then 1 for the finale. So there's only 5.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know how many there were.
Yeah, there's 5 of them. But yeah, overall, I liked it.
Yeah.
What really what'd you think?
Yeah, I really liked it too. I mean, I found it a little preachy with the whole, which, to be fair, it's true. I mean, we are destroying our environment. It's not like it's not true. But it is. But I saw
the part about the preachy part, though. Have you met Russell T Davies?
Yeah,
I mean, that's his hallmark calling card. And it's funny, actually, I've seen a couple headlines and articles, people complaining about it, right off the jump, which there's always going to be haters. But it's funny, the comments I'm seeing, they're like, when did the Doctor Who universe become so woke? Was one comment that I saw, and I thought, have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen an episode of Doctor Who? Yeah. I mean, Doctor Who as a whole, not just Russell T Davies, but
I agree. I liked it. That was really my only comment, which isn't even actually negative, because I still didn't mind it. I just,
I thought it was done. It was yes, it's preachy, but it is done in a way that's entertaining. It actually kind of makes you think.
Yeah, it does. It makes you realize, like, that's what I said. Like, it's not untrue. It makes you realize that we really should pay more attention than we do. And maybe not, maybe it's not as bad as they make it sound like, to some extent, but it kind of is. But regardless of the environment issue, I agree. It seemed like at first it was less unit. I had already known that Russell Tovey was going to be the lead of it, so I wasn't surprised by that, but I did kind of question that. but I really liked it because I felt like it was our way into the universe. And I, without
Yeah.
spoiling for people who haven't seen it, I won't spoil, but to, he's there by accident. Let's just say he's not somebody who was expected to be a unit. And I think by doing that, it makes you feel like you became a part of it. And I really liked that way into it.
Yeah, I think that's I agree. I agree. Yeah, that definitely.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
being
he's not.
said,
He's not.
I do
He's
want more
not
units.
who. He's not who it makes him look like. Like in the trailer, it makes him look like he's like a new
Yeah.
person in unit, and that's
And
not the case at all.
Right, definitely. But I like that side of it. I think it felt more authentic. But I would like, that being said, I do want to see more of the characters we're used to from Unit. I hope they come in more. I
Yeah.
also question if they have no intention of doing, I guess, more than like this mini series, because it does make me wonder that it's supposed to be a Unit spinoff, but it's not even called Unit. So like not even everybody realizes that unless they know Doctor Who.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing too. That is my only complaint too. Is I thought it was going to be more about the crew at Unit and maybe get a little more backstory on them. I mean, we have I mean, other than Kate, we don't really know anything about the other characters except for as they shuffle in through Unit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we've seen Shirley
I
and
thought we
Elaine,
were going to
but we don't know
get some
anything about
more background on those characters, and in that way. I mean, and it's also not what I thought it was going to be. I thought like the whole Unit spinoff was going to be like, you know, just focusing on them and everything. And this is more of like, a special presentation featuring Unit.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. But it does make me wonder, like, is there any chance of there being more? Because I don't know what they would call it, because I assume that only this part was the Sea Devils, like it wasn't meant,
Right.
it must not have been meant to be an actual full spinoff.
That's
Yeah.
that's it kind of it kind of reminds me of what the hell was it? I don't remember the episode titles, but it was when oh crap. Martha. When Martha was with the doctor and it was towards the end of she had left the doctor actually and she joined Unit, and like they had like those, what was it, 3 or 4 episodes that where it was like the end of the world and she went back, and did she go back in time? But I don't know, it's got that feel to it.
Yeah, it does. But all that being said, I really liked it. I'm excited for it to be on on Disney so we can talk more about it. Yeah, it wasn't what I expected, but I liked it, and it sucked me into it really, really quick. And I'm glad
Yeah,
that
me
they put
too.
2 episodes in, because I feel like you needed it more for context, just because of where they ended. I think it was better to get the two to see both episodes. Yeah, there's not really, like I said, it wasn't what I expected. I knew it was going to be about the Sea Devils, but I guess I expected more Unit, less of that part of the plot, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Hi,
So
Karen.
do good. Maybe we'll get more that's more unit after the fact. I don't know. Hey, Karen, we were just given kind of a really quick what we thought without going into spoiler territory of the war between.
Oh, Karen's in a winter wonderland.
I am.
I was gonna say, is that winter or is that cherry blossom?
It's cherry blossoms, actually, right? I mean, a
Yes,
springtime.
that's not winter.
Yeah.
She's
So
hanging
how
out.
much did you get
Karen's
to
hanging
see?
out outside today.
You getting it, but how much did you get to watch?
I didn't watch a ton of it. I didn't see the whole first episode. I watched I watched a chunk of it. I thought it looked really good. I thought we've talked during the last season of Doctor Who that we could see the increase in budget that had happened when they came to Disney. And I thought that the part that I saw, it looks good. I am. When I had heard about the show a long time ago, I thought it was going to be like a full Unit show.
We were just saying that.
Yeah, I heard you guys say that. That's why I'm commenting, and I didn't realize that it was not really like. It's not a full Unit kind of thing, right? I mean, I like Russell Tovey. We love Russell Tovey. We've seen him in a bunch of stuff. We like him, and it's nice to see him starring in it. But I thought it was going to be like the Unit Chronicles kind of thing, right? Like a full Unit show.
Yeah.
I hoped it would be. And maybe we'll still get that. Who knows?
Maybe, but yeah, I thought it was like a spinoff about Unit. It's a little bit different. It's a little frustrating that we're not getting like a full like Doctor Who Christmas special, like we, Doctor Who
That's
show.
till next year.
Not till next year, and like we're not getting a. But look, anything from the Who family is welcome. So yeah, I didn't watch the whole episode, the whole first episode. I watched a chunk of it.
Okay.
No, anyway, I did. So we're gonna cover it. I don't really want to talk that, but from the beginning, I did think it sort of grabbed me. The way it starts, the way it introduces the main character, and the way the whole thing starts. It was sort of. The part I saw was kind of well introduced and well done, the way it grabs you, and yet a little bit also like, I don't know, but yeah, enough that it really grabbed me that I'm looking forward to watching the whole thing when it airs.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it didn't bother me that it wasn't quite as Disneyfied as I was saying, like that it seemed a little. I mean, it didn't seem like really low budget or anything, but it seemed more. It seemed more kind of in line with what we're used to with Doctor Who. And I kind of like that because I felt like the Sea Devils to begin with, like the Sea Devils we've seen before are like, men in rubber suits. And it didn't look quite like that, but at the same time, it wasn't CGI.
Oh, the Sea Devils have definitely been upgraded.
Yeah, I think it works. And I think they've added some interesting things to them. Yeah.
I mean, we do love that, right? We love that about Doctor Who.
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, think about the Cybermen. I think the Cybermen have gone through the biggest changes throughout the years from what they originally looked like to what they look like now. I mean, they've changed so many times. Only the Daleks stay the same.
Yeah. I'm planning to like write out an actual review, but unless we find out that people have seen it already, we're planning to wait until Disney, because I think most people won't have. I really do.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it was you I said it or somebody else I was talking to, but just because I'm unwilling to wait doesn't mean other people aren't unwilling to wait the normal amount of time. But we don't know when it's coming to Disney. It hasn't actually been announced. I'm kind of assuming it's going to be in January, but that's not been said. So
nothing's official other than it's coming to Disney in 2026.
No, Disney's only saying in 2026.
Yeah.
I don't understand not simulcasting it though. I think that was a mistake. Even if they don't have the full blown deal, I think they should have tried to get that. But BBC, because of the current situation, they might have said, no, you don't get to simulcast it. You don't get it.
You dropped the ball, and no.
My understanding is this is the last part of Disney's current commitment.
That's why I was surprised it wasn't simulcast. The only other little thing I want to mention is I really wish they had him play the same character as in Doctor Who. That's the only thing. Like I was like, why not? I don't know. I can't remember what happened to that character though. Maybe he might have died.
Not the first time they've regurgitated.
I just would have liked him to have connected it in that way. Like if he had at least made maybe like an Alan Z joke or something, it would have been better. But other than that, it was okay. But looking forward to discussing it at length with you guys.
Yeah, I don't like it not appearing simultaneously because it just seems to not be in the historical spirit of Doctor Who, right? Like when it aired on BBC America and wherever it aired before that on PBS or whatever, you always got it at the same time, and that was sort of like a thing for the Who community, right? And so I don't love that. I don't love this like not split with the Who community.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But it is what it is, and hopefully it won't be too long before Disney picks it up. But it's not that long, so it might be done by the time they pick it up. I don't know, but we'll revisit it whenever that happens. All righty. So unless you guys have anything else, I guess we can move on to Stranger Things. And let us know too, guys, in the chat, have you seen it? Did you watch it? Are you excited for it to come here? Let us know what you think. I'm trying to get the other picture up. Sorry, give me a sec. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, if the people want us to review it sooner, we will. But I think
Yeah, we can. We just figured people haven't
Yeah.
really seen it except for us. So let us know, please. And we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, we will talk about Stranger Things. So there's the wall of whatever you want to call it, egg sacks, or I don't know. I still think they look like egg sacks, but whatever the heck it is, the wall of grossness that I've
I think
encountered.
it's just like a wall of Vecna.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that works.
Sorry. All right, I'm settled. Sorry, I was getting my.
Okay, see, B and Jen haven't seen it yet either, so at least we don't feel like you're waiting for it. But yes, B says I haven't seen it. I'm not big into Doctor Who. It's a feeling. It is. You need to watch it. Go watch Doctor Who. Maybe start with some of the other seasons. But
if you have HBO Max,
yeah, you go to some of the other ones.
all the new can't talk.
All the new Who except for the last two seasons.
All the Who with starting with Chris Eccleston is on
Max. Yeah,
I would say B. It's not a failing late. Some of us came to it late. AJ came to it the most recently of the three of us. It's not a failing. It's just prioritizing.
Yes,
we welcome you. We welcome you.
It's worth watching and it's worth investing the time. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. All righty. Well, let's move on to.
I would say to you guys as we get started, I did not rewatch these 2 episodes. I watched them at Thanksgiving. I did not have time to rewatch them because I had a bunch of whatever else going on.
No, I didn't either. So I'm hoping we get enough from the pictures, but I think we'll be okay. We're doing our deep dive won't be till Thursday. So that is the thing I should mention. If you guys want to see us talk more in depth about all the things in these 2 Stranger Things episodes, make sure you join us Thursday night where we'll be doing our.
Actually, I'm going back off camera for a second. I gotta get some Tylenol.
Okay.
I started physical therapy today, you guys, but it's made my arm a little sore.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. But at least that means it's getting better if you're able to do physical therapy.
Oh yeah. Anyway, jump in. Let's go.
So yeah, this creepy wall. We find out later in the episode that the wall's around the whole thing, and it kind of makes me wonder if this. I'm assuming it's something that Vecna built, but like, is it to separate from other stuff there? I mean, because I do think that all the other stuff is in their heads, in his memory.
Yeah,
so is what the point of the wall is.
I mean, I was incorrect in thinking that Holly was physically in the place and he was like kind of glamoring where she wasn't ever, whatever. We find out when Will has the vision that Holly is in the wall. And so she is in Vecna's head. And we kind of figure that out too once she meets Max.
Are they actually part of the wall, though? I don't think we know exactly where they're at physically. Right
Holly
now.
is because that's what we saw when we saw Will's memory. There was 3 kids aside from Holly, and they were.
I didn't know
they were getting, and they had those tubes force feeding them, like we saw with Will.
In Vecna's world somehow. They're not in.
Yeah, they're in his consciousness.
Yeah. But yeah, we hadn't seen it, so we didn't want to spoil you there. But yeah, it seems like they're not physically there. So I'm not sure if they can somehow get over the wall or through the wall or something. What they're going to find, we just don't.
We don't know that. Yeah,
it's pretty disgusting.
It is. Jen says, I believe they're in Dimension X and Henry's memories. Yeah, I definitely think they're in Henry's memories, but they've got to be captured somewhere in the Upside Down, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. According to Will's vision, they're part of the wall.
Okay, so you took it that drawing was the wall. That's what I wasn't sure about, and I didn't take it that way. But I see that makes sense now that you say that. But I didn't.
Well, but we see Will's vision though.
Yeah, but it didn't look like the wall to me, is what I'm saying. Like, I know
you didn't think so. Okay, I thought it looked like I thought it looked like the wall.
Sorry, I said underground again. Just yell at me if I do that.
I mean, to me, it just looked like part of Vecna's nastiness that we've seen other people in the past. Like in season 4, we saw people like, stuck up in the Vecna, the whole Vecna of it.
Gotcha.
It wasn't clear to me that it's the wall, but they're definitely inside that wall, inside Vecna. Whether they're stuck to that actual wall or to a tree or to whatever, they're definitely stuck in Vecna land.
Yeah,
right?
somewhere in there.
Vecna land.
Vecna land. I like that. Jen says
that sounds like a theme park.
is the wall for the bridge, which is the outer layer of the Upside Down. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think the fact that there is a wall, though, has got to be significant, right? Like it definitely
yeah.
means to somehow
I
get
mean,
through.
the way when Dustin was talking about it, at the center of it is the original site of the.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe that keeps the energy stronger by containing it. It's hard to know, but she cannot break through it even when she tries. Let's see. B says, I didn't think it was part of the wall. I'm not sure where I think they are. Where Jen says she agrees with you and says, like Vecna's face all burned up and pussy from being burned by the lightning. Okay.
Yeah.
Pussy from being burned.
Yeah.
That makes more sense when I read it right. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, there's somewhere in there. But I did like kind of the idea of it. It brings another element. So we also have these machines here, which are stopping Elle's powers. And I remember thinking, like, this is totally going to, I mean, it didn't, but I figured it would, that's going to backfire on them. And it still might. I feel like them trying to, to stop her powers, that something bad's going to happen and she won't be able to save them because they're, trying to stop her, and they should be worried about Vecna, but we don't know for sure whether they even know about Vecna yet. So,
and it looks like if you go back to the picture of it, and from what all we saw, it looks like it's sound related, like it's sonic, right?
Yeah.
That's what I guess. Yeah. Some kind of vibration or sonic wave that she can't handle.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, we have help me out here, Joyce. She's trying to, at this point, I think she's trying to get into contact with the other group. Because no, they haven't gone through yet, huh? They go through in this one.
No, they got through in the first part of last episode or fourth episode.
Oh, they go through at the very end. Yeah, they went through the silo when it opened up. They decided they were going to jump through, but she doesn't know that yet. She has no clue where they are. But there's a lot with her conversation, and we kind of talked about this last week with.
This was when the flux capacitor actually.
Yeah, when she finds out the truth. And she is not letting Will do what he wants to do. And we kind of already said we see both sides of it, and she's trying to protect him, but maybe being a little too overprotective mom. Yeah, overprotective mom multiplied by guilt. Very true. Jen says Callie's powers are stronger and the military is taking her blood. Could be her blood producing the wall mixed with her powers. Now I'm guessing Callie is 8. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know 8.
Yeah.
All right. It could be an illusion by Callie. That's interesting. Maybe she created it rather than Vecna. That'd be kind of interesting.
Well, because Callie's power is different from Eleven's power, and her power is creating illusions. Yeah.
Was it? I was going to say, I don't even.
I know we're kind of jumping all since you brought up. What do you guys think about Callie returning? I thought that was a good. I liked it. I thought that was a good surprise.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I didn't really remember anything about her, but I liked it.
How did you feel about it, Karen? Because I know that was your least favorite season.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh wow, flashback, right? Throwback character." And then when I thought about it, I really didn't like it because I feel like that part of Eleven's story was complete, and to bring her back was not. And then as I thought of it more over the last 2 weeks, I came around to maybe liking it better. And I do like the idea that maybe she is casting the wall, or maybe like, I mean, she obviously, although we're going to talk about when we see her. So anyway, I guess I would say I went back and forth on it. It was not my favorite. You're right. It was not my favorite part of the show. I'd completely forgotten about Callie, and I really felt like, look at B saying my family had to tell me who that was.
Sorry, go ahead.
My family had to tell me who that was. I still don't really remember anything about Callie. I also had to like really remember back to it and then look it up. And she was an important part of Elle's story at the time that it happened. But I feel like that was like dead and buried in the past. And to bring her back, of course, she is the one person who escaped. Like all the kids were killed, right? Like looks like everyone was killed when Ellen and one fought, and Eight's the only one who could still really be alive. It kind of makes sense that Linda Hamilton and her evil government lackeys would track her down. And we'll talk a little bit more about what it looks like she's up to when we see her, I guess. Jen loved it. You want to put Jen up?
I loved it. So happy that season 2, episode 7 wasn't a throwaway scene like some fans thought. I knew she had to come back, but I definitely didn't expect it prior to Bomber Hopper coming out all normal to get Elle. Yeah, I didn't. The problem is I don't remember that far back, and all I did was the recap. I don't even think she was in the recap that I saw. I can't remember. I don't think she was like super. I mean, I don't know.
She was only in the one episode.
Yeah, so she wasn't that big of a thing. So I like that they brought it back around, but I honestly didn't remember much about her other than, she was another one of the experiments. And I remember it had to do with when Elle was trying to find her real mother.
Well, she helped Elle like learn about herself and her powers and how to control them, right?
Yeah.
But she also was using her powers like for vengeance. Like she was going around like, I mean, she and her gang were using her power for crime to survive, but they were also like going around exacting punishment against people that had worked at the underground facility, right? Like anyone who worked at the Hawkins lab or wherever, Callie and her gang were like punishing them. And so in the end of that episode, I believe that Elle decides that vengeance is not her path and she's not going to help them, and she moves on, right? So I did feel like it was complete. But in that episode, she and Elle declare themselves to be sisters, and there is a real connection. So I guess in that sense, I see bringing her back, right?
Yeah, I can see that. And sorry, Jen, no, I didn't. I watched the short. I think I watched the short Netflix thing. I watched whatever was on my TV, on my Apple TV when I went to watch the show. I had forgotten to go back to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but to be fair, my memory is so shit. I probably would have watched the recap and still would have said she wasn't in the recap. So that's more my fault. But yeah, at any rate, he wants to help find Holly, and Will wants to help find Holly and is not happy that his mother is stopping him. And then we have the scenes with this kid that I do not remember his name. Big surprise. What's the kid's name? Do you remember?
Derek.
Derek, right?
Yeah. This is what happens when I don't take any notes. Derek. Okay. When Derek is the next person that Vecna, aka Henry, is trying to recruit, I guess would be the way to say it, to bring into the Upside Down. We don't know what it is specifically. I mean, look, before it seemed to be that he took kids that weren't strong. I don't know that that's the case now. I don't think we really have a reason for why he necessarily went after them.
He absolutely did. He says it in the 4th episode.
Oh, he took ones that felt like outside of it, right? Like that they didn't feel.
No,
like I'm trying to remember.
He's when he's talking, when he has control of Will in the 4th episode.
Okay, that was about all of them then. I was thinking that was just about Will. He took people that he thought wouldn't fight back that were weak.
Yeah,
right?
He said he takes weak people, and he says to Will, he's like, I take people that are weak just like you.
Yeah, I was thinking that was the first time what he did, but you're right. That was in regard to all of it.
He actually, and he says things like, Will, you were the weakest, and you were like, I mean, we'll get to that. We'll get to it when it comes.
Yeah, because obviously that's not. So we get these creepy scenes. I mean, I find them creepy with Henry with Holly and him. We're going to bring your parents and your family and everything. And she doesn't question it, which the age she is, I get it. She wouldn't, maybe.
She's supposed to be 7, yeah.
She's supposed to be 7, and even a little older, maybe she would believe him. I mean, I don't know. Part of me feels like she should be worried about her family. But because she doesn't know, she knows bad things are going on and she's not worried they're hurt. And it kind of concerns me. The thing that I question the most is after what happened to her mother, that she isn't even like, is my mother okay? And that irritated me a little bit. Like, I get it, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I wish they had her question it a little bit, maybe.
Maybe because she's in the dream world, she doesn't really like feel that. Maybe she doesn't remember it or feel that intensity.
Yeah, maybe she's disconnected from it.
Not in story world.
Yeah. Maybe.
Can you go back a little bit to the picture of Henry? It's funny that we have talked so much about how the young actors have aged considerably and they don't look their age. And the I can't remember the name of this man who plays
Jamie Campbell, right? Jamie
Campbell, yeah. He has such a young look about him. And in this shot, I even wonder if he's like D8. Like he looks.
That's what I was just gonna say. It looks like they made him younger because
he looks
he's
like
what,
kid.
early 30s, I think, something
he looks
like
like a kid dressed as an older person, right?
Yeah, he does. Very creepy looking. And, I'm disappointed in Holly because, the mid-'80s, stranger danger was a huge thing in the mid-'80s, and she's very trusting of Henry.
Campbell Bauer. I was thinking he had 3 names. Jamie Campbell Bauer, not Jamie Campbell.
Jamie Campbell Bauer. Who I loved also in American Horror Story and just has a young look about him. But I think he looks younger than he did last season when he was playing number 1 in the orderly in Hawkins' lab, right? He looks really, he's a young looking. It's just funny that all the kids look like they've aged and they've got this really ageless person.
I do wonder though if they did de-age him a little bit here because he does look, I don't know, maybe it's just the way they did the makeup, but he does look younger in this scene than he did in maybe some of the other scenes. I don't know. But I think he's good as Vecna. I had never seen him. Now, granted, you guys are saying he was American Horror Story. I didn't see that. But I had not seen him play a villain before. I think he's good in this role, but I had only seen him in Shadowhunters. And, well, I guess he was technically a villain in Harry Potter, but not exactly. I mean, he wasn't like a bad, evil that they showed him being evil anyway at that age. So, yeah, but I think he's done a really good job as Vecna. He looks so young. He looks the same in Twilight and Harry Potter. Was he in Twilight? Was he in
Jamie
Twilight?
Campbell Bauer?
Yeah, he was in Twilight. That's right. He was a villain. You're right, Jen. He was a villain. But he was like a pretty villain. No, he was a villain. Now that you said that, I do remember that. But I don't remember, like, he's much more like outright evil, I guess, I feel like in this. And I don't know. It stands out that he seems to play the villain well in this thing. But you're right, he was one of the bad vampires. I remember now. It's been a long time since I've seen that, and I think I've blocked out a lot of that movie franchise. To be fair, yeah, it was a pretty.
I mean, in Harry Potter, he's the young Grindelwald, right? So he wasn't actually like. I mean,
Grindelwald was bad, but we didn't see it as him at that age. We saw him being Grindelwald, the evil.
Well,
Grindelwald.
he was not. Yeah, he had not really like grown up to be like that person, right? Yeah. And he, I mean, he's great.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're getting a little.
Move on.
All right. So there's the whole thing that he tells Holly, no matter what, you can't leave. There's monsters in the woods. And, obviously he's the monster. I don't think any of us thought when a character says you can't go anywhere or something bad's going to happen, she's going to leave. I mean, that was a given, right? As soon as he said that, in my opinion. So I wasn't too concerned with that. I was curious what was going to happen. I thought maybe there's, something good in the woods. And I guess that answered my question. How old is Henry supposed to be? Because if he was 12 in 1959, how can he look so? Well, he was, when he was in, when he was where Elle was experimented on at the
Hawkins lab
Institute at the lab. I mean, he was like a young adult, right? Wasn't he supposed to be? I assume.
Well, yeah,
probably 20s maybe back then, I guess.
So he was in his mid-20s at that point.
Yeah, but they might have him. I would say maybe he looks younger here, though, even if it's intentional, just to make him more relatable to Holly, to the kids. That would be my guess.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, if he was 12 and 59, I think he can present himself at whatever age, like, is attractive to the person that he's. Or maybe at the age that he felt the most powerful, right? If he was 12 and 59, he's born in 47. It is now like 87. He's like 40 years old. But I think he can present himself at whatever way he.
Yeah. Well, this isn't a sort of dream world, memory world, whatever you want to call it. So it's not in the real world. So, and when they've seen him in the real world, he's not really there. So it's still kind of
yeah.
Hey, Dieter, I forget you're in a completely different time zone. It's like 10:30 at night here. You're saying good morning. I forgot you're over there.
All right.
So
don't go in the woods. I'll be back. Here's your
Barbie. Here's your Barbie.
Yeah,
Don't go in the woods. I'm coming back. Here's your little Barbie kit.
Yeah, and we already talked about the whole age thing last week, so I don't think we need to really belabor that much.
Yeah.
So then there's a lot with Elle being not kind of out of commission. I don't want to say knocked out of commission until he gets the sound wave turned off.
Till Hopper gets the sound wave.
Hopper gets the sound wave turned off, which he of course shoots, and we get this shootout scene. Now that I don't know, that made, you know what this made me think of? Bro, everybody, other people will probably get what I'm saying. It makes me think of the sign that we discussed at great length from. It doesn't really look like it, but just kind of having that old. We had talked about there was like a
billboard outside of town.
That's what it made me think of. But yeah, I'm not sure. It looks cool though. I like how they used that to shoot from behind. He used it as cover, and also I love how they have the upside down kind of the vines creeping around it already. But yeah, that was just kind of his cover.
How did you guys like this scene? This like lengthy scene of the shootout? I kind of liked it. I'm not sure that this show does shootout. Look, I think a lot of modern shows don't do shootouts that well, just because I don't like the way a lot of modern editing is done. With a lot of quick cuts back and forth, and you can't always really see what's going on. And I thought this was pretty decent. And I liked Hopper having to fight a little bit. With Elle being out of commission, I mean, we just saw a whole season of Elle out of commission, so I don't love her being down already, but it's episode 3, so of course she's not going to rise to her full power till the end of the season, right?
And she's not down that long either. So. And I think, it kind of surprises me you say that though, because you're somebody who always says you don't want the characters to be like overly powerful where they can just beat everybody really easy. You're the one who always says that. I find that funny that you're saying
I don't like an overpowered villain, right? Like an overpowered villain.
But I think you said it before with superheroes too at times. Mm-hmm. So I get that. But yeah, she's not down for that long. And I think it makes sense that she has a weakness. Yes. And it makes sense they found it out. But like I said, I personally think they're going to use it on her and it's going to bite them in the ass. Even might happen in the next few episodes. I think that they're going to be in danger and like Linda Hamilton or something is going to go to turn it on and it's like her people and they need her,
I've been meaning to ask, was it in this episode 3 or was it last week in episode 2 where we saw the soldiers take a pee against the wall?
This one. Well, it's
this episode, right?
It was either in this episode or the end of last episode before the fight. I don't remember. I think it was
in this episode that it comes into play because they mention it.
Yeah.
I mean, to me,
it's like he peed on the wall.
I mean,
so therefore he knows something about the alien wall just because he peed on it.
I don't think he knows anything about it. To me, I took it to mean that the soldiers do not consider this a threat. They have spent enough time like up and around this wall that they consider it just nothing more than a barrier that it is safe to pee against. They don't consider it to be a living thing, a dangerous thing. It's not going to grab you.
Yeah, but that guy's kind of cocky and jerky, so
yeah, I just kind of thought he's an idiot more than anything. But
I kind of felt like they've spent enough time. Like it's been months now that they're.
I mean, you could be right, Karen.
Yeah. I mean, that's making an idiot. Like, who would ever consider that to be like a normal thing that you don't have to worry about? Like, he could be used to it and complacent and still be an idiot. Yes, right.
Yeah. But it seems like the wall itself isn't dangerous. I would say is probably true for the most part, just because when they smash their car into it, it doesn't do anything to the kid.
Yeah.
So that would be my guess just from that. Yeah. But let's see. We go back to the kids. There's Dustin with his Kleenexes up his nose.
Face, yeah.
To the kids back in, I want to say back on Earth. They're all on Earth, but you know what I mean. Back in the right side up. Where they're still kind of trying to figure out what to do. They
I
must
love
go.
that. I love that Nancy
At
still.
the end of last episode, but if they're showing her in the right part, then they couldn't have went in till this episode.
She's
right?
still wearing her candy striper outfit.
They don't
right?
go. They don't go in until episode 4.
Okay. I thought you had said they went in the end of 2. That's why I was confused.
No.
Okay, that makes more sense. There's a lot more. I mean, look, there's a lot more planning again in this episode, which I mean, I didn't mind. It works, and I feel like some of that you need. But we don't really need to
I
get
think
into their plan.
I think the making a plan pretty much always works in this show, and I like how they always get out their little D&D men, and it always comes back to. I like that the show remembers to bring it back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
bring it back to like where this started, and let's remember that they like kind of created Vecna. Like Vecna was like they named Vecna after their last campaign, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is probably Holly's little figure, whether it's a cleric or whatever we decided. Yeah. But that's probably going to, I think, become more important. I would assume that it'll probably give her more strength in the end.
Yeah, I'm expecting that to do something too.
So yeah, she uses her oven there. Then there's kind of like this whole montage of her acting like a little girl that, again, seemed very out of place because she's too old for it. But she's dressing up. She gets Henry's, I don't know what you want to call it, Boy Scout
bandana.
Bandana, I guess you could call it.
This was kind of weird, right?
Like,
yeah.
Yes.
For a minute.
I mean, to her, I guess Henry's a hero. He's protecting her, I guess is the gist of it. I mean, obviously that's not the case, but that's what Holly thinks. She doesn't know any better. And then she gets this note.
I kind of felt like that's maybe like Henry didn't say go snooping in my house, but she went snooping in his house and she took out this sort of the red bandana. I mean, I'm not sure if I took it as like what that's about. Is it a talisman that like there's part of me that thought like, is this
maybe it'll have meaning later. Maybe.
Well, part of me thought, is this like showing bravery on her part that she, is it that she wants to be like him? Like, why she?
What I thought.
We'll deep dive it harder on Thursday, but I was like, why did she take this? And how's Henry gonna feel about it when he sees that she took it?
I kind of figured it was just she wants to be like him, and he didn't say. I mean, he kind of said, "Do whatever you want, just don't go outside." But yeah, did he expect her to nose around? Well, she is a 7-year-old girl. So he probably should have expected it, even if he didn't say it.
Yeah.
But maybe he thought she'd spend all day with her.
I feel like as soon as he says, don't leave the house, don't go in the woods.
She's going to go in the woods.
You know she's going in the woods, right? Like, it's like he said it almost to make her do it. It's like, don't eat the ice cream. Don't
in plot wise, it was kind of, I mean, he didn't want her to do it, but we need her to do it.
He wanted her to do it. No, I think by saying don't do it is because he wanted her to do it.
Oh, you think he wanted her to go out and find, or do you think it's a trap to find Max?
I don't know if it's trying to find Max. I think it's I mean, obviously, I think he did it on purpose, especially since he gave her the radio. Yeah.
I don't think he wanted her. I think he told her not to go. I think he was sincere when he said, don't go out there. There's monsters out there. Because he knows Max is around, and I don't think he wanted her running into Max.
Yeah, I think it's interesting you guys saw it from the opposite point of view, because it could be really interesting if he did do it on purpose and he wants to.
Yeah, what is he?
Because he can't find Max. Maybe it's all a ploy just to
I'm not sure what I do with Max. I think he wanted to look. He could easily bind her from leaving the house. It's all in his mind. Like he could prevent her from leaving the house.
But here's the thing. Here's my whole problem. This is all in his mind. Yet he doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
Does he not know what she's doing?
That's why it's hard to wrap your head around the fact it's not really.
Well, I think with what we see later on with Max, and they make this plan and everything, and she's like, "Tell me what to do," and she's like, "You need to go back to the house so that he doesn't know you were gone."
I guess. I hated the Max stuff, so I can't wait to talk about it because I hated it so much. The Max stuff. Wow. But I really felt like as soon as he says, do whatever you want, but don't go. It's a typical fairy tale thing. Like every fairy tale, the genie or the fairy says, you can have all the riches you want, but don't do this. You can do whatever, but don't. It's like such a typical.
Like back to the Garden of Eden, right? You can do anything you want, but don't eat that.
I thought that this was a real, just like, I mean, she's living in a fairy tale house. In fact, a friend of mine was watching this and texted me and said, what's with the Little Red Riding Hood thing with
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Right? I thought it was very fairy tale, and I thought it was very like as soon as he says "Don't go in the woods," I'm like, oh, he wants her to go in the woods. I thought it might have been at the time. I thought it might have been a test, and that he might punish her for going to the woods.
I just want to.
Turns out to be different. Go ahead.
I just wanted to bring up what Jen said. He put the radio in there on purpose. I thought I didn't know there was a radio. Did I miss something? Because that's why I'm going back.
That's a boombox right there in that
tape. I didn't see a radio. Or are you calling the boombox radio? Maybe.
Well, it's a radio /
but not like when she says radio. I thought she meant like a like a walkie-talkie radio. Yeah, I don't know. It never occurred to me. More on B's side, I never occurred to me that maybe he did it, but it makes sense though that maybe he does want to find Max, that he wants to lure out. It's possible. I hadn't thought about it, but like hearing you guys say that, it does make some sort of sense that it could be the case.
Either to lure Max or to have Max help defeat the Mind Flayer. Calling it a boombox. We're calling it a boombox.
It is a radio, though. You're right. When you said radio, I assumed you meant.
Look at this. Like it would draw Max out because of the music.
Oh, that's more like maybe he expected her to take it with him. Yeah, and I want to say too, this isn't the picture here, but later when she's looking at the map, where'd it go? I lost the damn picture I had up. Oh well, I lost the picture now.
I mean, it does look like in that previous picture, it looks like he gives her the boombox and the Tiffany cassette, right?
Yeah.
Play. Yeah. But see, it says they show it later on the screen and it says walk up the hill. And I immediately thought, no, you need to run up the hill.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was done to be funny or not, but it definitely, that's what it made me think when it said that.
So here's the crazy map, a child's map, and she's supposed to go up there and find.
And look, I don't think any of us really thought it was Henry. I mean, I didn't think about it being Max, but I definitely didn't think it was.
I thought it was Henry. At first, at the instant I saw it, I thought it was a test that she was going to fail. That Henry said, "Don't go in the woods." She gets a map that says "Go in the woods," and I thought it was a test that Henry was setting her up to fail.
Interesting. I love that we all take get different takes from it. I think that's what makes it cool that we all think something.
I immediately thought it was Max, actually.
Yeah, I didn't think it was Henry, but I didn't really think about Max being there, which makes total sense, and I should have, but I didn't. All right, so then we have back at the school. I think this was about Rosenberg.
Right, so this is a class lesson about wormholes. This cannot
have the question: elementary school or learning about wormholes?
Well, they're in high school.
Is it high school? Okay, I guess she's in high school. She's pretty young.
They're all in like the 10th grade, but I feel like a discussion about wormholes with a massive diagram behind the teacher. This has to be something that's going to come back into play, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it talks about, I think somewhere they talk about the Rosenberg Bridge or whatever it's called.
Well, a Rosenberg, it's called like a Rosenberg-Eisenberg Bridge or something like that. That's just the scientific name that we call a wormhole. He says it in the thing. He says, often called a Rosenberg Bridge or whatever. Yeah. We call it a wormhole. And I just thought like, this is where it's going, a wormhole between the right side up and the upside down, right? Maybe.
Yeah, we haven't really looked at it like a wormhole before. I think just because we've looked at it like a doorway. But I mean, it is a wormhole essentially.
Well, it is. We don't know. It is we call it a gate.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, to me, a wormhole is not necessarily to another dimension. A wormhole
to another time, usually.
Jupiter faster or whatever, right?
Or to travel faster. Right. Yeah, either different location or different.
Depends on the sci-fi we're talking about. In Star Trek, it gets you somewhere quicker.
Yes, that's what it does. So the wormhole bridge definitely.
Sorry, I was clicking on the next one.
So the wormhole bridge is definitely the upside down connecting dimensions to our world. Yes, or the next thing, Jamie, click the next thing Jen says. Every lesson Mr. Clark has done in each session has been key to the season. Yeah.
I like that they bring that in because it works.
Yeah.
And then we have the sister. I'm trying to.
Yay,
Erica.
No, it's funny. It's funny too because I was like, because until she showed up, I was like, where the hell is Erica?
Yeah, I like that Erica's in it. I enjoy Erica. She's funny. Jen, in A Wrinkle in Time, they use a wormhole, which is the book Holly's reading and that the English class is studying. True. I hadn't even thought about that, but you're right. There is wormholes in that book. It's been a long time since I've read it, but
Yeah.
a wormhole is similar to the Tesseract in A Wrinkle in Time. All right.
So I loved Erica. So, I mean, Erica, one of the things I loved about Erica when she first was introduced, that she's so sassy and she's so young. And Erica is a character that I worry a little bit about being older. She wouldn't be as interesting. And she was just great in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. She still worked.
Yeah. She's still.
So there's this whole scene where they want her to trick her ex-best friend and apologize to her in order for them to grab the kid. And
Yes. I also think it was great that they're playing with the idea of like the way high school girls can be best friends and then hate each other. And then like
2 seconds later, they're best friends.
Like, this whole like back and forth silliness with high school girls and maybe boys, but being a girl, I get it. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. I think this was the conversation between them about her relationship, wasn't it? I'm assuming it was in this scene.
Yeah.
She was just like, friends can be different kinds. She doesn't really come clean, but she does have a discussion with Will that is sort of like
her and Will have had some really great conversations over the second, third, and fourth episode.
Yeah. And we expected that, but I like that. I think it worked pretty good. And then we have more of Murray. Gotta love Murray. Bringing Dustin something he's not too happy about. I forget what it was, but he wasn't happy.
He didn't get all the things that Dustin wanted. Yeah. And he was a little bit
get all the weapons.
He's like, I'm smuggling things from the other side. Like, back off and make do.
Yeah. Jen says Erica's best with her attitude and Vecna doesn't mess with her ever. Yeah, I don't think he's going to try to grab Erica. If he's looking for weak kids, I don't think he's coming after her. So we're not going to worry too much about her, I don't think. Yeah. All right. So there's a lot between Steve and Dustin here arguing. And I love when he drills the hole in his car. Poor Steve. Yeah. That was hilarious. I don't know. That might have been a little bit later in the episode, but it was still funny.
Look at the back of that spectacular head of hair.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And then we have... I'm doing it again. Sorry, guys.
Her name is Nancy.
Nancy is a good shot. And they test, what is it? They're testing the tracker bullet in the tracker, putting it in the gun.
Yeah, because they think that because he was saying the tracker was going to break, and she's like, well, let's test it.
And it didn't break. Yeah. And we talked last week about the ring, and did he ask for it or did Murray bring it? We had already sort of talked about that.
I mean, now we see it again, which makes me worried about this ring.
He asked for it.
Yeah, I think he asked for it. I mean, I think he may have asked for it before he was questioning it, but I tend to think he asked for it. I don't think Murray would have come up with that on his own. I just don't see that happening.
I don't see it. Yes.
Yeah. And then we get the soldier who has been tied up because Elle is here reading his mind in order to find out about what's going on in the compound. And this is where she finds out more about Dr. K and also about the hidden door. And I like how they represent her going into his mind.
But this was a very, I thought this was a very, I mean, she's not like, Hopper was like, I'm going to question him and you just listen to his mind and get what you can. And
she's like, no.
Elle like invades his mind. Like there's this way in which like Hopper is going to torture him. And then Elle kind of tortures him, right? Like Elle enters his mind. She enters his mind in like kind of an abusive and violent kind of way, right? Like she's torturing that guy, right? Like, did I read that wrong, or did you guys feel like?
No, I mean, I don't think she was doing it to torture him, but she was she torturing him? I think yes.
I think she was like, I definitely think she was like, I'm going to cause him pain till he gives me the right answer. Like, I do think that she was like, Hopper was like, I'm going to do it, you don't, and then she does it because in the end, Hopper's like, what the fuck were you doing? What did you just do? I think Elle was like, I think Hopper was a little bit like, do as I say, do as I do. And I think Elle was crossing this line that Hopper didn't want her to cross. I think that's how I took it.
No, that's interesting. I just kind of felt like she was pushing it to get what she wanted and didn't care if she hurt him. I didn't
Okay,
necessarily.
but how is that different from like torturing a person to get what you
Well,
want?
no, but what you're saying, unless I'm misinterpreting what you're saying she hurt him on purpose because she wanted to hurt him. I thought she just didn't care whether she hurt him.
She wanted to hurt him to get her aunt. She didn't hurt him because she's a sadist who wanted to hurt him.
That's what I thought you meant. I thought
she hurt him to get the info she wanted. She wasn't
so
like a Henry that's like, let me abuse people.
Which I guess is kind of the same thing Hopper was doing, I guess, if you look at it that way.
I think it was the same thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. AJ, how did you do that?
And I see what you're saying. What do you think, AJ?
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. I was thinking about when I was watching this, the fact that the one thing about this show that is kind of surprising is that they do especially with Elle and the kids, like they do condone violence. Not that it matters, but it's just in a lot of shows, they'd be like saying, we'll try not to kill the person. We don't hear that very much in this show.
It's the 80s. They don't say those things yet.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Either way, she gets what she wants out of, part of it. She doesn't get all of it, I think, because he just doesn't know. But she gets the doors there and gets the information she needs. But Hopper's not too happy that she pushed her way in. And then, so Holly eventually does venture into the woods. First we're switching to the other household to see Derek and his family, and they're trying to get him to protect him. They're going to kidnap him.
Well, they believe he's the next kid that Vecna's going after, right?
Right. And we have Erica's sob apology in order to get on her good side and get her way in there, which I loved. That was great. And then she starts arguing with the girl because the girl don't want the pie. And she's like, "You're going to eat the pie," because she had to drug her. I thought this whole scene was good. I enjoyed this scene. And
I loved how earlier they were like, "Erica, help us. And she's like, no, I won't help you. And they were like, well, when we're done, this girl will never speak to you again. And Erica's like, oh, I'm in.
She's like, wanted to piss her off. Yeah. So the girl's flipping out, call 911. Instead, she's like, nope, you're going to get injected.
She told you should eat the pie.
Yeah, you should have eaten the pie. So they do grab the kids. Let's see. Golden Child says they gave us cap guns and bubblegum cigarettes in the 80s. That's a good point.
They did. I love those cigarettes.
And we had accidentally skipped Jen's conversation about Robin. Usually her conversations are impactful. And I think I like how they did the stuff with her and Will. All right. So they get the family out of there and then they booby trap the whole house, which I also love. All I kept thinking is that poor family.
I love when he finds the chainsaw.
They drug them, they tie them up. I also love the whole scene with the house, how they prepped that house. As a
It was very, very Home Alone.
It was.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
But I kept thinking that poor family, they're going to have no house to come back to. But then again, being alive, I guess, is a little more important. But yeah, they cut this. Look, I don't know that it's possible they could have cut the hole the way they did, but it's still great. Regardless. I
agree with you. But it's a very 80s kind of thing, right? And I also love that. I mean, I guess I kind of like that. Jamie, you mentioned last week and you mentioned tonight about how when they're planning, I don't need to see that. And yet I feel like we have seen these kids advance from being like a whole season of what should we do to a season of being like, these are seasoned monster hunters. And they're like, this is what we're going to do. Let's do it.
Yeah. And it doesn't bother me. I think it works. It's just surprising that it works, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the plan is they're going to lure the Demogorgon into the house so they can trap it. At least that's what they think. That's the plan. Yeah. And they're coordinating with the rest of them that are back in the barn.
Prevent it from grabbing Derek, right?
Yeah, that's the point. But it comes in and look, it's like you said, it's kind of like Home Alone. I loved them, giving it to the Demogorgon and it getting knocked down and catching on fire. It was great. They have no house left, but it was great. I don't know. How did they think they were going to stop it though? Did they? I guess they didn't. They just wanted to get Derek out of there. Like, I'm not sure.
They weren't trying to stop it. They wanted to track it.
Oh, that's what they wanted to track it.
They wanted to trap it.
They're going to shoot it with the tracking gun.
See through. I mean, they want to save Derek, but they wanted to trap it, so they can see what it. Yeah,
I forgot about that. Look at that great antenna on that walkie. That is some crazy antenna action. All right, so Derek wakes up.
I love Derek.
Yeah, he's like totally. Which look, he would be flipping out. I mean, it makes sense that he's scared and mad and everything else.
A little shit though.
He is a little shit, but
I think you're supposed to dislike him. He's a little shit. Erica hates him. He's a little, but by the end of these 2 episodes, I do like him, and I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, me too.
I love when he's smacking everybody with a ruler.
Yeah,
or the stick or whatever he has.
How am I like spilling stuff on myself? Hold on.
Rule on yourself, Jamie.
No, I dripped. The lid on the Gatorade apparently wasn't as tight as I thought it was, and when I shut it, it didn't shut all the way. So now I'm all wet with Gatorade. So yeah, he is a shit, but he should be upset at this point. And I think this is where Will is seeing through the eyes of the Demogorgon again.
Well, he's sensing that it might be coming, right?
And he's like, "You need to listen to us." You know, the kid's not listening, not surprisingly, and he does try to run away. But that's
That's a great shot. That is how Winona Ryder has looked for like the whole season.
Yeah, that's the oh shit face, right? I mean, pretty much.
I like Jen's comment.
Derek, yeah, it's a delightful Derek.
Delightful Derek.
It is. All right, so before the end of the there's where it says walk up the hill, and I was like running up the hill. That was awesome. They should have played it there, like just really low in the background. It would have been fun. But oh god, you know that song was stuck in my head for so long after the last season. So maybe we don't want to do that. So she gets to this huge rock formation, and that's when she goes into the cave. And
which, by the way, this rock formation is insane. Like nothing in Hawkins looks like that. It looks like
where is this?
West,
like Albuquerque or something,
right? Yeah, it looks like Albuquerque. They live in Indiana. It looks like nothing like they would ever see. But I think that's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for the Vecna wall that we've seen, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, it kind of makes me wonder if it. Look, we toyed with the idea when we talked last week. Like, is it possible that the house is really the house in the upside down, and you know she's seeing that version of it because he's glamoring it? And we decided it was in his memory, but it actually kind of makes a little bit of sense and does sort of parallel that wall. Like, I don't know that it necessarily is that wall, but maybe that's why he built that wall. Maybe because he's thinking of this.
Well, I mean, this doesn't have to be in Hawkins. This is a memory of his.
Right, but I mean, it makes
that he's afraid of
a memory of his or of hers. Like, I'm not sure that it's 100% either person's memory. Like, this could be a meld of their.
It's from what Max said. I think it was his memory from what she said.
Yeah,
I definitely got that impression. But she just knows somebody's chasing her. I think at this point, she doesn't know who it is.
It looks ridiculous. That costume is insane.
Yeah,
it's like a little kid who went to Disney.
I was gonna say, no, you know, it's like she looks like a cross between Little Red Riding Hood and Alice.
Yeah,
Alice in Wonderland. Yes.
Yeah.
B says Henry moved to Hawkins as a kid. Perhaps it's somewhere he visited before he moved there. That's what I thought. That's what she thought.
Yeah, it could be.
Regardless, it's something he's afraid of.
Yeah. All right,
So she's like climbing up this place. Now back to little Derek.
Now we're in the second episode now. So yeah, Derek is very brave because he doesn't know yet what's going on, and he does try to run away as soon as they give him the opportunity, which I think we expected. And he's not listening. But then the Demogorgon comes, and of course he suddenly starts listening.
Switches really quickly.
Yeah. Now we have Will again seeing through the Demogorgon's eyes, and I think it's in this episode he says something like that he saw simultaneously his mother defending herself and being attacked, or something to that effect.
I don't know. It's a little hard to.
Yeah, but he was also saying he was starting to feel what the Demogorgon. Not only seeing it, but feeling what the Demogorgon, and like kind of like he was controlling it a little, like.
I mean, he definitely feels its pain that we see here, and certainly by the end of the
when he whacks it,
feels its pain.
Yeah, he ends up on the ground in pain. So yeah, he definitely feels it getting hit. And then
meanwhile, back in the car.
I don't know if you put that up and I just missed that you put it up, but you said Henry moved the hog into the house somewhere.
Yeah, we did. We put it up already.
Okay. I heard you say it. I didn't see you put it up. I was looking at the pictures. All right. So meanwhile, the other kids, wait, hold on. The caves are talked about in the play. Henry moved from Nevada and those caves are there. And when he was exposed to mind flayer particles and transported to Dimension X for 12 hours and returned different. Okay. I'm guessing you mean in the other season then. I don't remember or wait, do you mean the kid? They do talk about the play in this episode.
There's a play of this show, yeah. There's a play.
But you mean when he was thrown out before. Yes, thank you, Dieter. You guys are better at remembering that than I am. I never remember that. Please like the video, subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision, guys, and hype it if you got it. I know not everybody has that option, but if you do, please hype it. All right, so the other kids, I'm calling them kids. They're not exactly kids, but in the play. Okay, in the she means in the play.
It's in the play Stranger Things. Yeah,
we need to do a watch party of that. Yeah, we have the link now. We need to watch it. But that's interesting. I thought you meant the play in this episode.
No, the play of Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's cool because it's kind of like a prequel or whatever. So that makes a lot of sense. But they see the Demogorgon rip apart the silo there and make a hole in the universe and
through a gate. Yeah.
Oh geez, why do I want to call him Harry now? Steve. I don't know where I got Harry and Henry from. Henry. Okay, Henry's Henry.
Harry. Steve.
Yeah, that's cool, Jen. We do need to watch it. I think we need to do a watch party. Maybe before the new one comes out, we'll have to watch it.
Right.
But Steve is like, we can make it. And then he says this whole thing about the soft inside the candy bar or whatever his analogy about that. And they're going to try to make it through. Will has some more visions. I just left that in there. Some of these we don't need yet. And then there's this whole thing where the soldiers are going around the town, picking up the kids that are, I guess, of the age they think might be.
So I didn't really get this right at first.
I didn't either. Yeah, I'm
why are
they
thinking about these kids? I'm like, how do they know what Henry's up to? Like, this was the first indication I had that they know what Vecna's up to. Like, to me, it wasn't clear that they even know Vecna exists, right? And now, like, our kids are after saving Derek, and suddenly the military knows that kids are in danger. Like, do they know it's
because
because technically
Holly,
Derek was
kidnapped. Well, they're taking kids of a certain age because Holly and then 3 more kids would take.
And Derek.
Oh, because like Holly's not the only one. Like 3 other kids were.
There's 4 kids total missing right now.
Yeah.
So they were rounding up. So they were rounding up all the kids of that age group, so that Vecna couldn't get.
Vecna, or it's possible they might still think it's 11, right? They think 11 is.
All right, yeah, they think it's 11. They think 11's doing it.
Jen's pointing out Mr. Watson appeared to them. Yeah, appeared to the ones that were taken, but they take all the kids, whether they.
But yeah, they don't know about what's it.
So they just taken all the 7-year-olds.
The military does.
All our cast has 11. They're all 11-year-old actors playing 7-year-olds apparently. But yeah.
Right. Hey, Scarlett, thank you. And yeah, if you guys, like I said, if you see the hype button, please press it and like and subscribe.
Scarlett.
But hello, Scarlett. Yes, Scarlett will be joining us Thursday for Karen and I for our deep dive. So we'll be talking more about this.
So
all right. So Will is getting. I feel like Will got a little braver all of a sudden. In the after
Will's always been kind of brave, but his mom's always telling him to stop being brave.
Okay, that's a good point. Good point.
He's like a little. I feel like Will's a little empowered by his experiences, and Will he's braver. He wants to participate, and then his mother's like, no, that's what is Hopper say? Wrap him in bubble wrap. Yeah.
No. Yeah, definitely. All right. So he paints. This is where he says that the kids are there. Now, see, this is why to me it didn't look like a wall. This to me was reminiscent of where we saw Max before.
Really?
Or what I remembered of it.
Almost
it like in this episode when they show the flashback. But I don't know. Yeah, it's something.
To me, that looks like wings, or it looks like if a person stood in the middle and it's like power emanating from them, right? But it could look like the wall, or it could look like a gate, depending on how you see it.
Like it's just the way he drew it.
Yeah, I think it might just be the way he drew it.
Well, what do you mean the way he drew it? He drew it.
Well, yeah, but it's like I think he's drawing something three-dimensional. I don't know. To me, it looks like maybe like a round, like either a tunnel or like a round area.
It could be a tunnel. It could be a tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but it definitely seems to be with what he did to Will, like similar.
Because to me, it's inspired by his vision, certainly, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The memory and the vision. Yeah.
The memory or the vision. We don't really know if that's a memory or a future.
Well, he said it was his vision.
Well, yeah, he was younger there, so it had to be, whether it was a vision or not, I don't know, but it had to have been the past because it was when Will was real little, because they had the whole de-age thing, remember?
Yeah, but he doesn't remember that part. We were seeing that, but what he drew was what he literally just saw.
He drew it just now. He didn't draw it when he was young.
Right. No. But I'm just saying, I think that what he's seeing is what happened to him before, whether he remembers it or not. I think that's what he did.
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But what is happening with him that sometimes he's seeing a past vision, sometimes he's seeing through the eyes of the Demogorgon. Sometimes, like, what the hell is going on? What is with him? What the hell?
Maybe I don't think it's a past.
Wait, what?
I think he's seeing what's happening to the kids now. I'm just saying I think it's the same thing he did to Will.
So he's seeing that tunnel right now.
Yeah, not that he's seeing himself there, just that he's seeing.
Because you confused me when you said like about when he was a little kid and what he saw.
No. I just meant when it happened to him, it was in the past because they had de-aged him. Not that that's what he's seeing.
What Jamie is saying poorly is he is seeing Holly and the other three kids being umbilicaled like he was when he was younger.
Okay, all right.
That was a better description.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. That was better. Okay. And it's because he's connected to the hive mind. Yeah, that is why he's able to see it. That's for sure.
All right, back with the other kids, they're all like, "Whoop! What's going on?"
Like hearing all the channels on the radio at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that is true. Yeah, he don't know what he's hearing right now, though. That's for sure. Umbilicorded. I like that. That is good. He's been umbilicorded. That's great.
All right.
All right. So then we go back to Kay. I still going to just call her Linda Hamilton.
General Kay and General.
You know, she was in Pittsburgh along with Robert Patrick. I wish I could have went.
I love her wig in this show. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It is great. So yeah, that guy's kind of telling her what happened. There's really nothing deep about those scenes. Now we see Max. And
well, that is the scene when we find out that she thinks Eleven's behind everything, but she does because they say, "What do you think she wants it for?" And she's like, "I don't know." We speculated last week that maybe she wanted 11 for help, to help and everything. But no, they want 11 because they think 11 is behind everything.
Yeah, so they are clueless. Let's put it that way. Max being there was the biggest twist for me. Yeah, I didn't expect it. I mean, all I kept thinking is kind of what I think AJ had said last week, that she better not be in a coma the whole time.
I was very happy when I saw her.
But I didn't expect her to pop up either. It sounds like Karen did. But
I did not love the way they did this.
I thought it was kind of cool. It makes sense to me.
Right?
Like she's not really in her mind anymore. That's why she's in a coma, because she's elsewhere. So I don't know. It worked for me. Did it work for you, AJ, or no?
It worked for me.
Okay.
I would rather that she would wake up and have some information.
Well, I would rather that too, but I understand, and they explained it very well why she isn't waking up.
Get to the.
So you know that I really don't like stuff that takes place in a dream state or an hallucination.
So in other words, Karen doesn't like it this season.
I get what you're saying.
I get that this show is what it is, but and it's a little bit different. But and I get that this is really happening in a way that a dream is not necessarily happening, and it's more like symbolic or informative. And this appears to be a genuine conversation between two characters who are trapped in Vecna's world.
Except it's different.
I don't love it.
It's typically in the upside down where
I mean, this isn't. I wouldn't call this a dream state.
Well, it's the Henry dream space, the mind space. It is. It is happening in Max's mind and in Holly's mind and in Vecna's mind. This is not a real thing.
Okay, I understand that, but it's not like this isn't actually happening for them. Like they're having this conversation. It's not like you wake up and then it's not like Bobby's about to walk out of the shower.
Yeah, it's not like I had a dream last week and I was in the airport with the two of you and we couldn't find our luggage, right? Like this is like a real thing.
Connection.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
They might not actually be in a forest or a cave or anything, but they're literally having this conversation. Like they'll remember that.
I understand that. I would like Max to not be sidelined and to be having an actual story.
Well, I feel like Max isn't being sidelined in this case. I feel like they're gonna fight Vecna on two fronts.
I kind of
in his mind and in the real world.
I didn't
and in his mind might be better because they suck in the real world.
I guess I didn't like Max's story that she gave here and how she randomly I don't know if we're there yet, Jamie. I might be jumping the gun.
That's what this whole scene is about. Her explaining to Holly what happened and that basically she went in the coma. She got stuck in his mind. She tried to follow the song that she heard her boyfriend play, and she couldn't get out because Vecna caught her again.
That was kind of sad. Like she was almost asking, and the music stopped.
No, she couldn't get out because the tape stopped.
Well, yeah, the tape stopped, and she couldn't get through the doorway disappeared. But she got caught.
If you go back, so I just watched season 4 before we watched this, and there's a part in that season where they've made this tape of Run Up That Hill. And there's a point in the last season where I think it's Lucas says, I hope this loop is long enough. And Max says 46 minutes, that should be enough. And so that tape was only like a 46-minute loop of the song. And I guess maybe that's where it ended.
I think it's interesting too, though, because it plays on the 80s part of it because it's a cassette, like if that was now, that wouldn't be an issue. So I like that they've connected that.
I don't love Max's costume. I don't love her. I don't love this house she's in and how she's kind of made this cave by, I don't know, did she steal that parasol from Henry at some point? Did she steal the stuff from his stool? Did she I don't really get it. I just didn't really like this. I didn't like the way they presented Max and all this.
That's fair.
But it's better than wearing a little Red Riding Hood dress.
Yeah, Blue Riding Hood dress, you mean? But yeah. B says, I've been calling this place Henry's Memory Vault.
All right, I like that.
Jen says, I agree with AJ. Since season 3, they've had 3-prong attacks. I hope that Holly and Max do something like fight the Mind Flayer or Vecna. That could be interesting. Yeah, they need to go a little faster.
Interesting to hear what Jen said. Do we all expect to see the Mind Flayer again before the end of the season? The Mind Flayer sort of has been by the wayside for a long time now.
Yeah, I because we only have a half a season left, I don't know. I don't know that we need to. Do you think we will?
I don't know. I felt like what we saw.
Keep in mind, each episode gets longer.
It does.
By the time we get to the New Year's episode, it's going to be like 2.5 hours long.
I think it says it's like 2 hours.
And I feel like when we first saw Henry, the whole thing where 11 shot him into the upside down without intending it, and he goes in there and burns. I feel like he met the Mind Flayer down there. Did Vecna create the Mind Flayer? Or did the Mind Flayer create Vecna? In the sense that he was created at all, right? I know
Mind Flayer was first.
The Mind Flayer was there first, right? And so 11 sends Henry to the upside down, and the Mind Flayer is like, "Come here, my friend. Let me give you some extra juice or something," right?
Yeah.
I like this idea that Jen says. I think she's wearing his clothes. That Max is wearing Henry's clothes. That might explain why she's got this sort of bizarro.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be
Jones meets the girl outfit that he's wearing.
Yeah, or it was just stuff from his memory at any rate. Jen says, I hope we see a controlling Vecna and it shows how it's the big bad. That could be
Mind
interesting.
Flayer, yes. Yes, I'd like the Mind Flayer to come back.
I just don't know. I just didn't know if we had time for it, but I guess we do. We'll have to see. Maybe the Mind Flayer is behind the flesh wall. Maybe he's keeping it out. Maybe he's like, that's what the wall's for, to protect himself from it even.
Yeah, maybe we have like 8 more hours of this show coming. AJ's right. So
Max looks like the girl from Brave. She does with that hair.
She does, yeah.
I was also annoyed Max been stuck inside that memory vault trapped while in a coma, and I didn't like that Land of the Lost cave situation.
Like Land of the Lost.
Yeah, I'd like to see her wake up and be part of the
Yes, I would too. I would like to see her wake up, but I'm just glad that we're getting something from her and not just her laying in a bed.
Yeah. Jen says the Mind Flayer was there long before Henry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that probably the Mind Flayer, I guess, contributed to Harry to.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So she tells her about the memory and about
like the Westworld scene of the whole
episode. I know that's it does. But yeah, she tells her how it looks pretty, but she's stuck in this memory.
It looks like Westworld, and you also can't leave because you're made by a computer, and someday you'll go through to the other side.
Yeah, that is cool though how they show them on the cliff and everything. Yeah. But yeah, we'll go deeper into the memory on Thursday. The memories.
This actually almost looks like the if you go back, it almost looks like the Universal Studios Wild West town a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
Or kind of Westworld a little bit, like the start of Westworld, like they're building it, Yeah. So they are still making their plans, trying to beat.
So do you look
right now they got rid of the.
So Lucas, see Lucas with his hair and his uniform, his clothes. It almost looks like a superhero outfit that he's wearing, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
It looks like I don't know. It makes me think of like a baseball jersey, but
well, I wonder it looks like I wonder if that's intended to be superhero-ish or if it's just 80s like nonsense.
I don't know. The way he's standing, it definitely looks like it.
It's just, and I think it's just the way he's standing too.
Well, and the neck, the way the thing is around his neck and the waist and all, it looks very.
Yeah, it does. It does. All right. So meanwhile, we have more of them going to break into the compound, kind of interspersed with their conversation. We do also get Max's flashback and her saying how she was thrown into where he killed everybody, where Henry killed everybody.
I liked her flashback.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
how she was stuck.
I thought it was interesting that it shows Henry going back to Henry's like memories, whether that's Henry's best memory, his worst memory, like he's bringing Max into his own memories. It's instructive that we understand what's going on, but also like, why would you bring Max there? Right.
Maybe just to drive her crazy. We don't know.
No, I think it might be a weakness on Henry's part.
Yeah, it probably will bite him in the butt. Bill said that was 80s sport practice shirt. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I said it kind of looks like a baseball jersey a little bit.
Well, it still looks superhero-y to me, but
no, it does. The way he's standing, especially. So we find out
I love this memory.
He went to school with Joyce. So he's actually, that's the other thing too, is he was a younger student though in these flashbacks, right? He was supposed to be a lot younger than her.
Well, here's the thing. If Henry was 12 in 1959 and that makes him born in 1947 and makes him like 40 something years old in the 80s, that makes sense for Joyce's age, right? And Hopper's age. Like, I don't know if it's perfect, but it makes sense that Henry could be around the age. I didn't love this. I don't love that Henry's from Hawkins. I feel like it's a little too much for me. Because, actually, because Jen said he lived somewhere else in the play and he moved to Hawkins for high school. So it makes sense, right? Oh, shut me up. Right? He moved to Hawkins.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't know. It didn't really bother me.
How did you guys like the de-age of Winona Ryder there?
I didn't realize that was her de-aged. I thought that was just another actress and they put her voice on top of it. I didn't know that was supposed to be her
really
de-aged.
much like her, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. And it might just be because it's too much of a disparity between, well, because I mean, she's an adult now. They're not. So it's easier to de-age them. This is where she sees that he was in the play, Henry Creel. And we talked about this. She talked about in his memories and everything.
Yeah.
And then we have the little spy Derek, who they've sent back in to do their dirty work. I love this.
And this is where we start to love him, right?
Yeah, because he's so unassuming and they know they can sneak him in. So the whole point is he's going to go in. They're going to talk to him on the radio. They're going to dig a hole underneath the compound in order to sneak the kids out. And it is all thought up because of Robin's. She was talking about a movie. I don't remember which movie.
But Jamie, have you seen The Great Escape?
No, I've
Great
not.
Escape.
AJ, you've seen it, right?
The Great Escape.
Of course I have.
Jamie,
She likes dick.
it's one of the greatest movies like ever of its era. I would say it's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's one of the greatest movies of like the time it was made in, and it's the classic movie of people who were trying to escape from prison and they dig a. It's based on a true story, I think, right, AJ?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
I don't know about that, but
to get out of a Nazi like prison camp.
All I know is Robin likes dick.
Robin's dick. Dominic Perry. It's a great.
A little ironic there.
Truly, if you guys haven't seen the movie, anybody who's listening, it's an excellent, wonderful movie that you all should watch. I don't know if Jamie would love it, but in general, it's a fantastic movie that everybody should see.
They went to town with that joke for like a 5-minute span. First, Robin says she likes dick, and then what if it's too hard? Don't worry, I'll soften it.
Oh, the dick joke, yeah.
Jen said he's a freshman and Joyce Hopper, Karen, Ted are all seniors.
Oh, in that shot, in that back.
Yeah, and obviously, look, I don't think the actor is that the play. Jamie Campbell Bower obviously isn't almost as old as them, but I don't know that necessarily matters.
They're supposed to be that he's supposed to have known them.
Yeah, he's supposed to know them. But obviously the actor's a lot younger than they are, so I'm not sure how that quite adds up. But
so it's a little interesting that Vecna is tied to Hawkins in a way, because we've seen that the Upside Down can go to Russia, right? There's that part where wormhole to Russia. Does it not go anyplace else? Can the Upside Down only originate in
well, there's a door in Hawkins and there's a door in Russia,
and that's it, maybe.
At least ones that have been opened.
Yeah.
We need to scoot a little bit. We've been talking about this for 90 minutes.
All right, move. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so they're going to plan their escape, and meanwhile, the other kids have driven the car into the wall.
Awesome.
But we know they're going to find Elle and Hopper. That's what's next. We know that. Let's see more of the flashback. We don't need to talk more about the movies or the memories. We already talked about that enough.
Yeah.
The main point was that she almost made her way out and she couldn't.
She almost know.
All right. So then we have so she tells Holly that she needs to go back and pretend that everything's fine, that this is how they're going to break out. So I like that they did that, and that she's got to go back and be the same and pretend it didn't happen. So we're going to see how good of an actor she is.
I don't think she can be trusted to perform well.
I think she probably will.
She's supposed to be.
I feel like she's going to think she's doing well and do it so over the top that Henry's going to know something's up.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, definitely could be. So this guy comes to the compound and he's like, "Let me in." He tells him what happened. She doesn't really care. There's the portal. That looks cool.
Yeah.
So then we have the whole thing with the kids, and basically,
I love this bit with the kids.
They're digging up the bathroom underneath.
And I love the fact that something went wrong.
Yeah, you knew they were breaking that pipe when they hit it. Like, you knew that pipe was going to be everywhere, right? So that was great. I love this shot. I love that picture.
I like that it mostly went well right till the minute that it didn't go well. It was really, And I love the little kids upstairs who were like, okay, and Derek coordinating them. I loved all that.
Yeah, Derek got it figured
Macking
out.
And it does remind me a little bit of AJ. I'm sorry, Jamie, I'll move along. But when you watch The Great Escape, it does have it has some comedic moments, right? When they're escaping. I mean, they're stuck in a Nazi prison camp, but it has light moments, and much like this, where they're going underground. But it all goes to shit shortly.
Yes, because they break the pipes, and also the one kid tells on them when they see it flood.
You know what though? That's not even that's not even the part that really. That's the funny part. Doesn't even when it goes to shit is when the Demogorgons show up.
Yeah,
the Demogorgons are coming through the pipes. Yeah,
they don't tend not to happen. All right, so Elle has been caught. Well, they've both been caught, kind of, but she's turned on the machine again, and of course, Elle can't stop her when it's on. There's a lot of Elle threatening L and K, and kind of their battle. And meanwhile, she's letting Hopper get strangled. And I know I forget exactly what she says that she says he has to do to get out. I know she like blackmails him, but I don't remember what it was she said.
Well, she says, if you tell me, I'll call it up. But she says heat weakens it, right? Which we know they don't like fire, but she says some heat weakens it. And I have this heat lamp, and she turns it off to make it strangle her more. And she's like, if I can like put the heat lamp on, then you'll, she gives away the answer, as all villains always do.
Yeah. But what was it that she wanted? Elle, I guess, was what she wanted. Yeah, so he obviously wasn't going to give her up. It wasn't going to happen. The title girl's last name is Klein, like Mayor Klein, the rat from season 3.
Ah, yeah.
Well, let's be honest, though. That plan was doomed from the beginning. They were never going to they got most of them out, but I don't think we thought it was going to work well. But there's Hopper getting strangled. All meanwhile, they're pulling the kids through the tunnel. There's where they got caught.
This was great. This was a very race against time feeling kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and they came and grabbed them all. So Hopper is telling Elle she's going to go. He's going to blow the place up. And look, we know that's not going to happen, but he's telling her she has to leave. I didn't think she would leave. I mean, I knew she wouldn't leave, right? I don't know why he actually thought she would leave. But he thinks he can make her leave, and he's going to go protect her and, take care of the problem is where he's off to. And then meanwhile, Murray and I forget who else is with him. The kids, right? The other kids.
He and Maya.
He's with Robin.
He's
with Robin.
Rescuing the kids.
Robin. Oh, that's right. Nancy's in the. I don't know why I was thinking Nancy's is in the Upside Down. Yeah, he's with Robin.
All the kids, as they came out of the tunnels, were going into this like truck that these two were going to escape.
Yeah, the military grabbed some of them, but not all of them. Some of them got away into the truck.
Ended up bringing these 3 kids. Yeah.
Yeah, with the egg carton soft.
It's supposed to be soundproof. It's soundproof.
Yeah, but
he's like comfy. They're like, no.
No, that doesn't work. But there's all the kids and the adults that they did grab. And Derek did a good job. He did what he was supposed to do, but they did get caught. And of course, they're, they think they know everything and they can fight what's coming. And they're like, Demogorgons are coming.
Jumped ahead to the Demogorgon attack, but yeah.
Yeah, and they do. Will passes out. Will's kind of seeing it again. We know that.
Well, there's like 5 Demogorgons, so he's seeing everything from each perspective at the same time. So yeah, not surprised he's like.
Well, and also as the Demogorgons are being shot and burned, Will feels that pain.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's making him pass out. He's feeling the pain of the Demogorgons.
Yes. And also it has, I don't know if I got a picture of it, but it's also turned over the truck too that Murray and the kids are in. It's attacked that.
Yeah.
They attacked
the radio shack. So there's a lot of mayhem.
Not for nothing. That was Murray's fault.
Yeah.
The truck going on his side, that was Murray's fault. He's trying to shake the Demogorgon loose, fine. But you turn a truck that sharply like that, and you're going over.
We knew it was going over. Exactly.
Yeah. I thought the scene was good and bad. So I thought, they're fighting in the town. I thought that all of the facades of all, it looks really like a fake town. It looks like all facades only. It does not look like any sort of a real place where you see the radio. I loved it being a Radio Shack. I just thought it all looked really shitty. All of the
I agree, it does.
Right? It does not look, they did not put money into they put all this money into the Demogorgon, which looks fantastic. They had no money for the set.
Maybe they didn't want to destroy the set, but still, I think they could have made it look a little more like an actual town.
That is terrible. The set is crap in all this.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, he's seeing everything, and then meanwhile, Elle is
back at the ranch. Elle is seeing there's a gate inside which is news to us, right? We didn't know there was a gate inside the office.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I'm not surprised. There was somebody inside the gate, right? That little person inside the gate.
Wait, gate? Wait, well, hold on. What do you mean a gate?
This was on the street, isn't it? I thought this was on the street.
That's on the street. It is on the street? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, you're confusing
me. So that's the original gate that we've seen all along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. She finally gets through the door, and this is where she sees 8, who it looks like, I guess, is being trapped behind there.
It's not her head shape for some reason.
Yeah, because they have to do that a lot on the show for some reason.
Yeah.
And they have all these the sonic things set up in order to control her. Let's see. B says that set is built up about 13 feet, and the rest is basically green or blue fabric, so they can add the rest in CGI.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but they should have done a better job. They could have put a little bit more money into it.
Yeah.
There's the tattoos to remind everybody who she is, what number she is. And she's like happy to see Elle.
And again, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like bringing her back and not bringing her back. We'll see how that goes in the next episode, whether we all.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't really bother me, but like I said, I really don't remember much about her. So Vecna has come through. Everybody is trying to kill him. There's the truck.
So this is his first appearance, and he appears to be at full strength or even more strength than last we saw him, right?
Yeah. Yes. But everybody is in on the fight, even in the tunnels. There's Lucas.
Loved it.
Yeah, they're coming out everywhere.
I always like to fight in a tunnel. I like the claustrophobia, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is one thing I didn't like. You guys know that I always complain about an overpowered villain. And Vecna in these scenes is like unbeatable. But I get that it's episode 4 and we have like 8 more to go, right? So
and it also doesn't last either, exactly. Because right now he's basically saying how weak Will is, and I think it's part of him saying how weak he is that he's able to gain his strength.
How do you guys think that Vecna came back even stronger than before? Only because that's how stories happen, or like what made him get stronger? Like what made him get stronger?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's just because it's a story. I'm not sure that there's a reason for him to be stronger.
Other than it's a story.
He's got so many kids by now. Maybe I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. But they're dragging the kids away. Even
he gets his strength from the soul of the kids.
Yeah, and he's dragging them all under. And Will is having flashbacks and remembering what happened to him.
Drinking the juice. Yeah.
Yeah, and he decides that he's not going to be weak anymore. And he is able
it's also a lot with what Robin, the conversation he had with Robin before about.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Finding their true, her true self and everything, and that's what Will just did. He figured out.
I guess. I have a lot of questions about this, but we'll put them off till the last. This is kind of the end, right, Jamie? He
frees the Demogorgons, and they are now somehow under his control. And then he's like super powerful, right?
His nose bleeds like Elle at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, it makes sense because here's what I was trying to remember. With Elle having powers in that, did the original powers come from the Upside Down at all? That's what I was trying to remember.
No, it came from her mother being in like MK Ultra, and it turned out that Matthew Modine was giving them number one's blood or genes or whatever, right? Like, wasn't he?
Yeah, but at that time he was human. But when he went through the gate, he became Vecna at a certain point. And I guess, I mean, he gave Will whatever it was of him, his essence, whatever.
I don't know that he gave him.
Well, I'm calling it not his. I don't know what's called. I'm calling it his essence. He pumped something into Will that we're assuming was. I'm assuming with this that it was part of him.
Here's my question. Do you think that Vecna really? Okay, this is a two-part kind of thing. So let me just get it all out of my head before you guys answer it, okay? So does Will actually have powers, or does Will's psychic connection to Vecna allow him to basically use Vecna's own power against him? Like, does Will have actual power, or is he using the Vecna power because he's around? He never exhibits power. He had no powers in California. He only has, like, 11 had powers in California.
Well, I don't think he came into them now.
Just let me spit it all out, okay?
Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry, Jamie, but I have a train of thought.
No, go ahead.
Yep. But he only has the feelings when he's in Hawkins. So does he have actual powers in his own right, or is his connection to Vecna allowing him to use Vecna's powers? My second thing is like Will getting these powers at this moment, and where's my I lost my train of thought about Will having actual power. Oh, because Will, like, because he's like his nose is bleeding, and he, you know, and like there was some question about him, like AJ's like, well, he came into, like, after talking to Rob, and he's coming into maybe his more strength as a personality, and what, like, I guess I'm just asking like a million questions about what you guys think this powers come from and what it means. And I think, AJ, let's just let Jamie go first.
I think that, yeah, I think that he came into the powers because now he believes in himself, that kind of thing. But I think that whatever Vecna pumped into him was like a part of the Upside Down, a part of himself, whatever. I think it backfired. I think that he was putting the stuff into these weak kids because he thought it was making him more powerful, and he kind of screwed himself and gave him powers instead. That's how I looked at it. Now, whether that's the case, I don't know, but that's...
Yeah, I kind of look at it similar. He's got powers now because whatever Vecna did to him, but he's only able to control it now in this moment because he has the confidence finally.
Yeah, I don't think it's the location at all.
But what? So here's another question. Why, like, what was Vecna doing with the pumping?
Oh, I don't know that yet.
Yeah,
and what would Vecna have been intending that has backfired?
Well,
like, it seems like a big
I think it was to make them into a hive mind, and he was like draining their powers or something.
Well, with Will,
Will's never
I
been
think
a
part of it is, I think, you know, while Will can see things, I think it's going to turn out that Vecna has been watching through Will's eyes and constantly knows what they're up to.
Well, because he says very early in that flashback last week,
we're going to do wonderful things together.
We're going to do wonderful things together finally. And then this week he says, "Oh, will you? I only want weak children. You're the weakest of the weak, and it was so easy for you." And I'm like, but wait, why are you pumping Vecna juice? Like, what was Vecna's intention?
Well,
like,
we don't know that yet.
Why would he create people strong enough to beat him? Right? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Because he doesn't think he's creating people strong enough to beat him.
And is that just the hubris of the villain that we've seen, like, in so many? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's why he's taking the weak children, because they're weak and they can't possibly do anything to defeat him.
So you guys, as much as I'm asking like a million questions and maybe complaining a little bit, I loved that this episode ended. I just felt like, oh my God, it's Will's story. Like, season 1 was Will's story, and we had to have 11-11, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, is this really going to be Will's story in the last season? Because I love that.
Yeah, I'm glad that Will finally is getting to do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I don't know. I think whatever it was, to kind of piggyback on what AJ was saying and answer you. Yeah, I think whatever it is he's doing that is he thinks is making himself strong, that he didn't expect them to be able to kind of, you know, use it against him, I guess.
Really? That you would pump Vecna juice into a kid and then be surprised that it became strong?
Like, well, we don't know if it's Vecna. We don't know if it's from just something from the Upside Down. We don't really know. I think it was some kind of experiment type thing that didn't do what we thought.
All right, we should probably move on.
I would just love for this to really
he's tapping into Vecna's powers.
Yeah, that's not his own power, that he's tapping into Vecna's power somehow.
So maybe after Vecna's gone, he'll lose the powers. Maybe.
So a friend, before we check out, I know we got to move. A friend of mine sent me a message after this and was like, this is a lot like Buffy season 3 or 4, in the sense that there was the person with powers and the Scoobies who had no powers, and then like Buffy started adding then Willow had power, and then like some of Buffy's friends started having powers. I don't really feel like I need the Scoobies to all have powers. Like, I like the idea of a person with powers and the gang around that supports them. And then when this happened, I was like, I just would love for this to end up being the story. Like, we've all been watching the story of 11, but no, it's the story of Will. I would love that.
Yeah. B says maybe he's trying to make some kind of little kid army whose minds he can control.
All right. Yeah.
I wonder though, does he need that? He's already stronger than everybody in the real world, but I guess he wants to be.
But maybe he's only strong in his upside down. He needs to expand. He needs like minions. Yeah.
Either way, I don't think he intended that to happen clearly. But yeah, I like that he's got powers. I mean, I don't think they all need powers or anything, but Will getting the power, I think, is interesting. I like how it kind of flipped the script. I definitely didn't expect it. So I'm kind of curious where it's going to go with that. Because Will has been the weak one, and now it's partially because of what he did that he's not the weak one anymore, right? Like,
is Will the weak one? Will
they want to think he was the weak one. Like, it's been played up until now that he was.
But is he like Will? Is he weak? Will's been traumatized in a way. None of the other kids have been. He was kidnapped by Vecna. He's traumatized. He's and he's not getting any support from his mother or his family to really deal with his trauma. And we've got this whole side story about him, like, really, like, not being able to talk about who he really is, and maybe come out of the closet, or maybe not, but really like do his thing. And I mean, so personally for me, I'm not a fan of like the character who is struggling with his sexuality is the weak one. That's kind of a shitty thing that they always do, right?
Yeah, and then I definitely don't mean it that way. It's more like they've held him back in that way, I guess. Like, his mother's
he's traumatized. I think he's traumatized.
Yes, he's traumatized, right? That too. But they've presented him. I mean, Vecna has said, you were the weakest of them all.
But
he
was a dick.
Vecna's
a dick who tries to like.
But that's what I mean. That's the point, that he was never weak. He just didn't know he had the strength, and now I
think Will has been the sensitive and the guy with feelings, and that's like being weak, which is a thing in the 80s, right? And I
No, I'm more just saying that Vecna said that. Not that I'm saying he was weak, just he's been presented that way. And I think that, like, it was there all along. He just didn't know that he had the strength that he did. And now he recognizes that he has the strength, I guess, is kind of what I'm saying.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see where that goes. Anyway, I love that ending. Yeah, I loved it.
I do too. And wow, our quick review took almost 2 hours. So
sorry.
We're deep diving this on Thursday, even though we've already gone pretty deep tonight.
All right, let's jump into another show. Let's go to the next show. Pluribus. Pluribus. I like this episode, you guys. A show that I wasn't that sure about. I really like this show now. I really like this show. I really like this episode.
I loved the casino stuff. The poker game was great, and I looked at IMDb afterwards because I was curious, and the guy with the patch that he was playing, the character's name was Blowfinger.
Blowfinger, like Goldfinger
and Blofeld. Yeah, it was a mishmash name.
Yeah.
And then I love the hot tub with the strategically placed bubbles.
He stepped out of that hot tub and had bubbles covered.
When every girl got out, it was like all the bubbles were like just the right spots, and I was like, "This is hilarious."
Yeah. And I was just in Vegas 2 weeks ago, and I was in the Westgate. It's all shot. It's all supposed to be in the Westgate, which is at the like way other end of the strip. And it was actually pretty. I just loved how they did the whole Vegas thing, also. And of course, Mr. Diabaté is in Vegas. Of course, he is.
Yeah, of course.
I like this episode. Jamie, take it away, Jamie. How'd you like it?
I liked it a lot. I watched it pretty much as soon as I realized it was out. that night.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you though, like, I guess, how surprised, like, were you super surprised? Like, I think we kind of all thought that it was going to be bodies in there.
Well, I think last week we all said it's human bodies,
About
right?
that, yeah. So I wasn't super surprised. I wasn't even really surprised by the reason, because I knew it was going to be something like that, right? Like, that was something they were doing that was their, efficiency or whatever. So I wasn't super surprised, but I still really liked the way they did it. And I agree. We all kind of like didn't know what this was going to be, and it's just been so good, and it keeps surprising me in different ways. And I don't know, it's never what I expect, other than I did expect it was going to be bodies. But I mean, like, I said from the beginning, I really figured pretty early on, like, she was going to start turning people back or something, because how can they have only a couple people that are like normal through the whole show? And they've continued that, and it's worked. So that part surprised me. But yeah, I like how she kind of went on this whole journey, and she's trying to tell everybody what's going on, and then you find out the whole time that he already knew. What do you say his name was? How do you say his name? I already lost it.
Mr. Diabate.
Okay. The fact that he already knew it the whole time was like great, and I didn't expect that.
He learned it earlier than Carol did.
He would have known about it, yeah. So that kind of deflated her balloon. But I like kind of their interaction, and I do love this stuff in Vegas, and we can talk more about it when we get to it. But I also felt very bad for her in this episode. Yeah. Let's see. Doc says, I saw a video that, there's mystery, but it's not an actual mystery box show, hence it being bodies like we expected. Yeah.
I'll give it that. Yeah. It's not.
It's got mystery elements, but I don't know it's a complete puzzle box now. So I'll agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, we knew it was going to be bodies. I don't know that I necessarily expected it to be body parts, but that was creepy as hell, right? That she finds these wrapped up body parts in these ovens and grinders and all that good stuff. And immediately it's like, I got to tell everybody. And I'm surprised she still expects them, I guess, to give it to everybody, which they do. But she definitely believed they would. Although I don't know if she completely did, because she went to see Mr. Debate, however you say his name. Debate. Okay. She went to see him directly. Like, I don't know if that was partially she was afraid he wouldn't get the information if she wanted to tell him in person. But yeah.
I think he might be the only person in North America besides her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only person who will listen to her, that too. Because nobody else will even talk to her.
Yeah.
There she is vacuuming up the
crystals
or whatever, and she got on the floor. Yeah, she's like, got to get rid of the evidence. Not that it mattered. I love that picture. I'm assuming that's probably really in that hotel.
That's Elvis. That's Elvis from.
I know it's Elvis. Thank you.
I think it's the movie Viva Las Vegas.
Maybe.
There. I happened to have been in that casino just 2 weeks ago when I was out there. I was in the Westgate. I did not notice that, but I also didn't stay in the penthouse. So.
True. I think the biggest question, Karen, is did you win any money and bring it back with you? That's my question.
I did not. I came home a little bit behind on money. It wasn't really that bad a loss until I fell and busted my shoulder.
Oh yeah, that was not good.
Yeah.
That was bad. Yeah. I think when you go to the casino, at least me, I never expect to win. I
house always wins.
Spend the money and enjoy it.
The house always wins unless you're Mr. Diabate, and then you always win.
Yeah, exactly. Golden Shot says Carol needs to know that they know everything she's doing and will always have a cover story for anything she finds out. That is definitely a good point.
Yeah.
But I believe what they said.
It's not necessarily true though.
No.
Because they didn't know whether she was planning on drugging what's her face? Pirate lady.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, they had time to plan. I think they knew she'd probably eventually find it.
So do you guys think, I mean, all right, Jamie, let's recap this a little and then I'll ask my questions.
Okay. So I love this. And I know that's part of what you guys were referring to. But part of me was kind of like, isn't this really boring? Like, he knows he's going to win. But then he even says, like, he refers to them as actors or something playing a part.
Well, after he wins the hand, the villain, the quote unquote villain, is clapping and he's like, stay in character.
Yeah. So he's play acting everything.
He's playing James Bond. I mean,
I think he's living a fantasy, right?
Yeah.
And the best thing you can do is have these totally willing people who will do it.
I'll tell you one thing.
I agree, Jamie.
If they turn I want this question answered. Like I keep waiting for Carol to ask this question, but she doesn't. But if the show ends and they are able to revert everybody back to individuality, do they keep the memories that they had from the hive mind? Like, are all these women going to remember having sex with Diabate?
Oh, I was in a hot tub with 5 naked ladies with Diabate.
Yeah, is that going to make some really awkward shit later?
And not only that, but does the entirety of humanity have that memory, right? Because they
Yeah.
That could be an interesting way that they could continue the show even after they do that. Like if they had one season and then they save everybody and then the next season is how do they deal with that? Like I could actually see that with the way the show's going.
That's an interesting thought. Not where I was going with it, but it's just
I know you were, but that's what I was thinking. Like I could actually see that happening.
Well, I love this. I love the James Bond of it. I love the little bit of like an Indiana Jones. I love the whole. We've seen so many movies like this, and yet it was really exciting. And like, was there a moment where I thought Diabate could lose? No, I knew he couldn't lose, and yet it was really well done.
It was fun. It's just fun.
Yeah,
it's very fun.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like role playing. There's I was thinking of when I seen him. You guys talk about James Bond. It was making me think of I can't think of his name now, but the one from Lost.
Patchy.
Yeah, that's what it was making me think of. Did you see? You saw my text message. I told you guys. Okay, so basically, so everybody knows this. I'll tell this story shortly. I had set an alarm or something, and I said to set the alarm, and I told her. And then I'm not saying her name just because I don't want her going off and talking again. But I had said it. And then my mom said something to me, thought I was talking to her. And I said, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the thing. And then she says something like, oh, I'm sorry. Or, apologizes like she does. Right. And then I said, no, I was talking to you, Alex. I said it like that. And then she goes, oh, I forget exactly now how I said it, but something like, oh, a plot twist that's good as that was made for Lost or something like that.
Yeah, it's just as good as Lost. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was hilarious. That cracked me up. I immediately thought of you guys after she said that. I started laughing. So yeah, that was great. Duck, he has been passing around a lot of his sperm for the joint to make stem cell babies from, because maybe that's how they got it all, right?
And Carol froze her eggs.
Well, though I don't think they could use stem cells aren't the same thing. Well, sperm is, but I was going to say stem cells because I don't know. Could they use their reproductive stuff without their permission? There's kind of that whole debate about are they really babies already? Like, there's been kind of that question, and I have to wonder, like, are they allowed to use them? Because
I think that it's hilarious that Doc thought of that, but they still couldn't do anything about it because
Doc took it a little further.
Yeah, Doc, but it's still
they're going to use the stem cells from the babies to make a virus for a company.
Yeah, but see,
but they can't. But they can't make them. But they can't inject them with the virus without their permission.
Yeah,
right. But no, you're missing my point. I'm saying, do they consider that the reproductive sperm and eggs? Do they consider that life? Because if they do, they couldn't do anything to it because they would be hurting that life. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, they can't even destroy a plant, right? So I don't think that they could do anything to the eggs.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, I don't think they'd be able to extract it from it. Yeah. But it's an interesting thought. So
anyway, this is a setup scene for Carol getting ready to come to Vegas.
Yeah. But I totally love this.
I love it when they're like, "You're gonna have a visitor," and they all bolt.
Yeah, there's them in the hot tub. And there's the bubbles. You're right. They're all perfect. What was up with the old maid lady that came in and like
she said, "Get in the pool with us," and it takes off she drops her thing, and she's old and not super attractive. She's an older lady.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
He didn't care. Don't come in our. Yeah,
he didn't care.
He did care. They didn't. She put her clothes back on. Yeah,
I consider her a gray hair.
No, she put her clothes back on because they
Because
realized
because
Carol was coming.
'Cause she
Like
was
it coincided that way. Like she dropped her clothes and they were like, "Oh shit, we all need to leave."
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, I'm not saying, I know it's a debate among humans. I'm just saying I think for them, they would consider it for sure that they couldn't use them. But I like that idea. Do they they make them into like raise them as children and then convince the children? I don't know. That would be kind of interesting too.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, but it makes sense. Look at
And
the flamingo thingy, inner tube thing in the pool. You can see in the background. That's funny.
At any rate, here comes Carol to his.
Yeah, here comes Carol, and they she's driving down, and they got messages there for her. That was great. Welcome, Carol.
I love that.
I kind of wonder if they did this. They probably did it digitally, but
Yes, I'm sure
it'd
they
be
did.
funny if they really actually put it on the signs, wouldn't it? But they probably did it digitally. Rendezvous in a Sky Villa. Yeah, so she goes up. I took more pictures than I needed to, just because this place is so
graceful, tacky place that Mr.
yeah, but it's still pretty in like in an opulent, crazy way, you know.
Yeah,
And
Tim wants to stay there. It's gorgeous, whatever.
Yeah, the penthouse suite. Most of us will never see something like that, so that's awesome. But yeah, she comes and she's like, they're eating people. And no, she doesn't even say that. That's right. She's like, I got to tell you something. You're not going to believe this. Sit down for this. And he's like, oh, you mean that they're eating people? He totally took the wind out of her sails. Poor Karen. She didn't even get to, or not Karen, sorry. Carol. She didn't even get to tell him.
So let me ask you a question, you guys. Do you think that they told him in order to take the wind out of Carol's sails? Or do you think it's a true coincidence that he learned about it earlier?
I think he learned about it earlier when he asked them.
He did, because otherwise they would be lying with what, like they, you know, if they told him. So yeah, I think he figured it out. I think it's a sad coincidence.
Not that he figured it out. He just he flat out asked them. He says that he flat out asked them about it.
Finally has something. She has some proof, and it's like.
And he's like, "Oh, did you drink milk?" They're like, "Yeah, we drink milk. This is why." Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" Yeah, but I guess they figured they would at some point wonder about the crazy milk.
So what do we all think of the John Cena cameo?
I loved it. John Cena.
There he is.
He's everywhere.
Like, yeah, do you see him at the, I don't remember, what award show was that? He came out naked.
I don't know, but he's like, "Hi, I'm John Cena. We are John Cena," he says. And of course, I've been watching him a lot this year on 2 shows. That AJ is also, and for him to show up here as like a spokesperson is hilarious.
It is.
Yeah. And I like what he keeps saying. You know, John Cena brings up a good point. She's like, "That's not John Cena."
Yeah, he doesn't get it. He missed the memo, but he wants it to be John Cena. He's friends with John Cena, right? So it's got to be John Cena. Yeah. No, I just meant he wants it to be because he knows it. So yeah, long story short, they cannot, how'd you like that? They can't only not kill living thing. Well, it's still living, but they can't kill plants either. So
I love it because we discussed it a couple weeks ago. Like what we talked about this earlier, right?
Did we?
Like, can they eat plants? Can they? We talked about it earlier when they said they can't.
I thought we talked about could they have people kill them for it, but the point is they won't even
can they eat plants?
Yeah, they won't even pull apples off a tree because it's a living thing. It has to have like fallen off the tree on its own. Like if it's there and it's dead, they'll eat it, but they won't kill anything, even a plant. But they need nutrients. So they have all these dead people that are dying of natural causes, and they're like, we'll take the proteins from them and eat them, make them into something that
it's a very interesting
human-derived protein.
Yeah.
Yeah, HTP.
Yeah.
It's an interesting situation. I mean, Karen and I experienced this during the 100 when they had the fights and the losers became dinner.
Because they had nothing to eat down below the ground. Yeah.
Right. And it was the same thing too. Like they took all the the doctor there, she came up with a way to get all the protein out of these little, made little squares.
And they ate little food squares that were people. Yeah. I mean, we talked about this last week when we were like, why are they eating this? What are they? I do like the part where this show where one of the others, right? Where they try to make this like argument where they're like, listen, 100,000 people die every single day. is not enough food, we're all going to starve to like 10% of the planet is going to starve to death or more. We're going to get to that, Jamie. I guess I shouldn't jump ahead, but the idea that we talked about it last week about as a good use of resources.
Yeah,
and now we see.
I wouldn't be okay with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be okay with it either.
But if you're part of the hive mind, you would be, right?
No, sorry, I was reading Doc's comment.
Oh, what does Doc say? The show, Doc has a lot of comments.
Go ahead, you can put it up. The showrunners intentionally ignore certain realities to move the story in certain ways. They have the tech to turn poop into meat protein now. Pretty sure the Join would be totally okay with that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They could do that. They could use waste. I hadn't even thought of that. I don't know that I want to think of that, but you're right. They probably could.
I mean, I agree that the Join would be totally okay with any of it. They're like, listen, we have a
the Join
have a mission. I think that I'll have this later, but I think their mission is a little ill-fated. But so Carol is appropriately horrified when she sees this, right?
Yeah. And for some reason, Mr. Debate, sorry, I still say it wrong.
He says, what did he say? He said it's concerning.
He's like, it's concerning. Yeah. And he says, like, we're not down with it, but we came up with some ideas, right?
Yeah, like we can.
Who are we?
To do it. And yeah, and that's where she finds out that they've been meeting this whole time. Whoops.
Oh, that was kind of worse, right? To me, that was really
that was really sad. It's like we've been talking all along and we've left you alone and you've been lonely because we don't like you. I mean, it seems like he is not the one that feels that way. I mean, he's the one person that clearly doesn't.
We know who it is.
Yeah, we know who it is. But I think that's really sad and awful. I mean, she may not like her, but like to completely, when there's already only 12 people left on the planet. 13 people left on the planet that are like you, and to be excluding her is absolutely awful.
And he's like, he says like, oh, some people thought your presence might be disruptive, but I didn't really care. But I mean, I think he doesn't really care. I think Diabate is a very, he's really self-absorbed, I think. And I think he just wants to have his last time on Earth to be having the most hedonistic experience he can, right? He doesn't care about Carol.
I don't think he wanted to hurt Carol, though. I don't think he agreed with it.
He's less of a jerk than some of the others.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Well, he does. He does go to bat for her with the collective. Like when he's on the phone with them, he's like, she's really lonely. And he's like, no, I understand,
Yeah, he's trying to help her. But I think it's ironic though, because the whole show is about not having individuality and everybody being the same and everybody being included. And it's like they're excluding her. I just think that's kind of interesting.
I would like to see especially with Diabate, I would like to see some more backstory on him, simply because I want to see if he's a self-absorbed jerk who's just enjoying having sex with all these hot women, or if there's more to it. Like, what was his life before? What was he? You know what I mean? Like, was he a homeless person and nobody liked him, and now he's living it up and taking it, enjoying it for what it's worth?
Kind of like Carol. Like, she's a very
Carol's
Carol's very she's a very she's very what's the word I'm looking for? She's an abrasive personality.
I was gonna say brash.
Yeah, and people don't like her, or the remaining 12 people don't like her. But what she's been through in her past, made her what she is. And we've seen that she was loved. Like, she had a spouse who loved her, and she had fans who loved her. She's not an unworthy person, but everyone hates her because they want to talk to her. And even the others are like, we can't talk to you, Carol, because you've been annoying, right?
Well, I mean, to be fair, what Carol did was kind of fucked up.
It was pretty.
They kind of have a reason, but
and they're not saying they'll never talk to her again. They just need their space right now.
Yeah, but as for the humans that are left, for them to be meeting every week, twice a week, and completely excluding her, it's not like it was just one meeting.
It's the 12 of them, and
I don't know if that's supposed to be kind of underlying the fact of how can't think of the right word I want, but that how heartless that they are. Like,
Yeah, who's worse? Like Carol's an abrasive and kind of a mean person, but isn't it meaner for them to all be meeting and not inviting her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not for nothing.
She's been talking to him all this time, sending him videos, all of them.
You can invite her to the Zoom calls, and if she starts getting carried away, mute her.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not meeting in person; you're meeting on Zoom.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, during that whole scene with Diabate and this conversation and everything, I thought Rhea Seahorn killed it. Like,
she's great.
her body language and facial expressions just said everything, because she really didn't say much that through that whole scene. She really
and
it.
I just say, like, I think like her body language, facial expressions, you say, is most of the show. The show is a very low dialogue. Like, there's dialogue, but it's very limited compared to a lot of shows, right?
Especially when she's by herself.
Either she's most of it. So
most of her acting is like solo. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what was up with him copying her with the food? What did you think of that? That was interesting. I'm not sure exactly what it meant, but it was interesting.
So I took it to be like she's doing something new and different that he never considered for how to eat a sandwich, an egg sandwich. He eats it. I took it as a little like shot of individuality into this whole thing, and that he's like copying her individuality a little bit. And could that be a sign that there's hope for him to maybe follow her in the very low key foreshadowing kind of thing?
That's why I took it. I thought, he's like, huh, I never thought to do it that way. That's interesting. Let me try it.
Yeah.
Not bad. Like, interesting.
I just thought it as a sign of Carol, like maybe having.
I thought trying to think outside the box.
Yeah, that's a good point. Golden Child is starting to think outside the box like she does. Yeah. I really like. We find out where he's basically said, look, they've solved it. They can turn us now, but they won't do it unless they get your express permission, because they have to hurt you to do it, like physically hurt you.
So
and
I guess
he's not down with it. He's like, I told them I'm sorry, but no. So
right now he's like, right now he's like, I'm good. I bet that one girl's already joined the collective.
Yeah, Lakshmi's probably already.
No, I don't know, not Lakshmi. I don't think she's joined the collective. I think, remember the first time she met all the people that spoke English?
Oh, that one that wanted to be,
the one that was like, I can't wait till they figure it out. I want to join them because I want to be with my mom or whatever again.
Well, but I think Diabate doesn't want to join, but I think he is just seeing his life as this constant. They will serve him forever, like, right? They will always serve him, give him what he wants. He can live out a series of dreams. He hasn't really considered that. Like, yes, he is.
That's why. That's why I want to know what would happen if they revert back, because I think that shapes and changes what. Like, I for him, from his perspective, I would want to know, do they, are they gonna remember this? Because if they're not gonna remember it, then you can have a lot, you can kind of do whatever. But if people are gonna remember all this if they revert back, then maybe it takes some pause.
But he's a caricature. He's an archetype of a character. It's like, what would you do at the end of the world? It's like, oh, I'd party and have sex all the time, right? Like, he's doing this thing that is a lot of people's. We've seen it in.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But he's not. That's what I'm saying. I would like to see him ask these questions. Somebody ask these questions.
Oh, for him to come around a little bit and be more of a guy that's
because
like.
It's.
I agree to find his backstory, because it could make a big difference why he acts.
Exactly. And it's that's the thing too. Like, because on one hand, it's played for laughs and everything. But at the same time, it's creepy as fuck.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, it's kind of like using them like Barbie dolls. I mean, essentially, is
what
he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're technically consensual, but
but I mean, when you get, I mean, it would be so lonely, right? Like, yes, it would be awesome. Don't get me wrong, for like a week to do what you want and have people wait on you and get everything your heart desires. Yeah, it'd be fun. But after a while, not having like an actual human to talk to that was like acted like an actual human, it'd be really
and
lonely.
we've seen that thing also, like if you ask so it's all these girls who are like getting naked and getting this bathtub, right? But if you ask her to do it and she's compelled to not say no, where's the reward in that? Where's the satisfaction?
Exactly.
Where's the
Yeah, exactly.
Really compliant is the other
And
thing.
like, and it's also and then there's that creepy factor because they can't say no.
Right.
Yeah, it's hollow and it's a little like weirdly assaultive.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say it's assault because it's not technically, but it's definitely weird.
They're giving they're agreeing to do it, but yet they're not because they don't I don't want to say they don't understand it. They do understand it, but
is there consent? Is there not consent? Right?
Yeah,
is there free will? Is there not free will? Yeah.
Are we gonna, if they convert back, are we gonna have a lot more people in therapy?
Yeah.
A lot of people that do not like him.
Well, I feel like part of Carol's role is to be like, wait, have you thought about this? Like, here's this, here's this immoral thing. Here's that immoral thing. Here's this. Like, this is beautiful. And Carol's like, is it? Like, wait, what?
Yeah. Why would you want this? This isn't good.
Yeah.
Aren't you over it at this point?
So let me ask you guys a question.
I love this part. I
don't even know if I have an answer, but in that vein of what the Abate is doing, everything, you got the collective, and you get 1 week to hang out with a person. Who do you pick?
Of all these people, you mean?
Yeah.
Or in life?
No, I mean in the real world. Say this actually happened.
Specifically, who do you pick?
Like you pick Brad Pitt, or which direction you go?
Do they have to be alive?
Let's be alive.
Yes.
Get to be alive. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, because otherwise I was gonna say pick my girl.
Let's be alive. Alive. So you can't pick like your dead person that you love.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Right now I'm on a shield kick. I'm like thinking, I don't know. Who would you want to? It would depend if they're them or not, right? Because I feel like it would be interesting to, I don't know, talk, maybe not this president necessarily. I'm not saying that, but the president in that sense or something, or a king, it could be interesting, but like, they're not really them, right? They're everybody. So I guess it really doesn't matter who it is, right? But I don't know, probably some celebrity. I don't know.
But you could be Diabate and be like, let me make you be like George Clooney this whole time, right? And they would act it apart. Yeah. It'd be totally fake. I don't know.
I don't know why, AJ. Who would you pick?
I don't know. I was just curious to see.
No, I don't.
I mean, it
wouldn't be real.
I mean, it depends. I mean, like 14-year-old me, I'm going to Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably pick a celebrity. I don't know who else you would necessarily pick. Like I said, unless it was somebody interesting you wanted to pick their brain. Like,
I mean, child me.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. You can pick anybody's brain and get the answer you're looking for with
and like, do you as a grown up, do you pick a lost love? And is that
it's more of a
to have that information?
I mean, in this essence, it's more of a visual thing than anything else, because you can talk to anybody and have a conversation.
Yeah, and have that conversation with them. But
like,
I don't know.
Hello, ex person from 20 years ago. Why did you break up with me? And that could be worse than not knowing, right?
Yeah, no, right. I'd rather not know.
But you don't need to see them to ask them that. Is AJ's point?
Right.
Like, you don't need to actually look at them. So yeah, I don't know. Probably a hot male celebrity would be my answer.
Well, anyway, I love this scene where Carol asks the question and it comes up on the
board. Yeah,
that's awesome. But also, oh my God, hearing that recording that many times, all I kept thinking is, why?
Yeah, it's getting played now. Like, after the third time last week, I was like, okay, why is she not saying, "Can you make a shorter voicemail?"
Yeah,
like, it's funny, but now it's just
not. And yeah, now it's not funny seeing her standing there going da 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 da. Yeah, it's not funny anymore.
So this is a huge part of the show. Like, Carol learns that like they've learned, like the others have learned, they can't change them without their stem cells. Like, we previously thought maybe they would like be able to do it against her will. They can't do it without her stem cells, and they can't take her stem cells without an invasive operation. Therefore, she has to consent. So she's pretty safe from ever being changed.
You know, I'm curious. I would love to have a conversation, or for her to ask why. All right, now that you know this information, why are the 13 of us different?
Yeah.
What do we all have in common in our stem cells
Yeah.
that didn't turn us immedially?
Because it's like 13 people on the entire planet. It's not like so common, like 100,000 or whatever.
Actually, it makes me wonder though. There's one thing about this that doesn't make tons of sense. And I guess it's just one of those things you have to let go. But I was thinking about it, like you were saying earlier, how Debate, like he asked them and said, you should come back. She's lonely and all this. Like they're actually making a choice for once, because they before wouldn't make a choice, and they're making a choice not to see her, even if it makes her feel bad. So I find that kind of interesting. And
that is interesting. I hadn't thought of it yet.
I hadn't until now.
It
doesn't really gel with that. Now, if she said come back, they would. But they still made a choice on their own, which I find interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. What? And you were right, Golden Shadow. Carol's nightmare is Debate's fantasy.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. The idea that all these women would be like Carol, I think, is really, I think part of her is like, these women don't have a choice. It's not, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, and he doesn't quite see that.
Yeah.
All right. So either way, he is nice to her.
I mean, they have a good conversation. They have a little bit of understanding.
Yeah. And I love when she's like, I'll come back. And then he's like, what? She's like, I'm totally fucking with you. That was funny.
But she wasn't.
No, I think
I wasn't sure if she was either. I kind of.
No, she wasn't. She said that to let him off the hook.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. I think she wanted to hang out, and then she saw him look at his face. She's like, oh, I'm kidding. I think Carol's pretty isolated. Yeah. Like Debate has all these people around him who are always like catering to his every whim, and she's chosen the opposite. And I think, and I also think there's only 12 people alive. There's 13 people alive on the whole planet who and they've all rejected her. And to have Debate to be like hang out.
Well, not all of them, because the guy in Paraguay hasn't talked to anybody yet.
No, but 7 of them have. But to have him to be like there's almost no people, and then he to know that they don't like you, don't want to hang out with you, that's kind of rough, right?
Yeah. Now.
Well, what's fucked up is the people that don't know English don't want her included because she didn't include them.
Yeah, that I can kind of understand a little bit,
but at least understand why she didn't include you, because you didn't speak English, because she didn't trust the collective to translate.
Yeah,
exactly. So it wasn't personal.
Yeah,
they should understand that, but they don't. So how do you like his car?
Yeah, I saw that.
He's awesome. He's such a shallow person. I mean, I guess he's really.
I'll be honest with you.
I
would definitely go and have a different car every day of the week.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'd probably spend like a month having fun, and then I'd be like, okay, that's enough.
And I do think when he says, Carol, this is your car, it's a police car, I mean, he's not wrong. Like, you can do better, Carol. He's chosen to drive. I mean, I feel like he might be a little bit like a guy who thinks that he's going to. So when he first embraced this, they all thought they might be converted. They didn't know this until recently. I feel like he's living a guy like it's his last day on Earth. Always. Yeah. Every day is his last day, right?
Will eventually end, I think, the fun that he's having.
Yeah.
Just might take a little bit, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, he might be in a mindset of when it stops being fun, maybe he'll be like, all right, convert me.
Yeah. How long has it been? It hasn't been that long though, right? Like I forget how many.
I don't remember. Yeah, of all these screenshots, Jamie, you don't think to grab the screenshot of how many days it's been?
I might have somewhere.
It's 12 days, but then they tie it back to 9 days when we go back. We're going to show the flashback in a minute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I took the days though. I tried to do less with this one because we're not.
Well, I know it was 12 days for Carol. It's 9 days for this guy. Munoz.
So, what's his name? That's what I was gonna say.
I think it's Munoz or something like that.
Yeah, Munoz.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we see from his point of view again. I don't know what this is. Is he just trying to see if anybody's on the radio on the bandwidth?
Yes, he's trying every radio bandwidth every day, and he can't get through. Yeah.
And there's one that he's found that has some weird. humming
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if the sound, like some of the music was like just the background music, or if it was supposed to be what he was hearing. It was a little confusing.
It's what he's hearing. He goes
That's
back
what
to
he's
that
hearing.
one. Yeah.
So he's not sure. But yeah, he is still not wanting to talk to anybody. But then he sees the package, opens it, and sees her video, and suddenly he's like, "Oh my God, somebody's normal," you know. And
Yeah.
he
He's like, "Oh my God, somebody's thinking like me."
yeah,
Yeah.
somebody left. If he had actually talked to people, he may have known this by now. So
he
it
was
also,
hiding out. He was hiding out from the collective.
yeah, he well, but I mean, he didn't even try talking to him. It sounds like. But it also gives him the I guess the bravery to go into his house and get some food finally, because he
realizes they can't light him, they can't hurt him.
Yeah, he's like, they can't do anything, so I'm safe to go in. And he goes in, he gets his food, he gets his car isn't working shit. And that woman comes out and
sees his
freaks
mom.
him out. Yeah, it freaks him out. She calls him son, and he's like, I don't think she was supposed to actually be his mother. I think.
I think she was.
Oh yeah, she was. He's like,
okay,
you're not my.
She was calling him son, and that's
No,
why he said
because he flat out says you're not my mother, because my mother was a bitch.
Yeah, so
she's being all sweet and nice to him, and that's not the woman he knew.
Yeah,
I thought it was legit his mother, and
yes, it absolutely was.
Yeah, I thought it could be
because his mother was a jerk, and I think it was for sure his mother.
All right, fair enough. But either way, he's like, "You're not my mom. She was a bitch." So yeah. So yeah,
and he's driving. I think he's driving to Albuquerque to see Carol. Right?
Oh,
I agree.
So. Although considering he had to push his car down the hill, I don't know how far he's going to get.
Pop starting it.
A new car. But he's on his
It
way.
was thick. He was pushing it down the hill so he could pop start it.
Yeah, but he can take. I mean, we know that they can take any car they want and drive it. He'll get there.
He'll get there.
No, I just mean he might not in that car. Was what I meant. He might have to switch cars along the way.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
It's a start.
Yeah. But yeah, so
you guys, I love this episode. I really like this show, and I like it partly because in episode 1, I was like, "Am I going to like this show?" And now I really like this show. I like Carol. I wasn't sure that. I mean, she's a difficult person, and yet she is great. Like, I'm behind her. I'm with her. Right?
Yeah. We need to.
And it's just it's very thought provoking.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
All right, ladies, do your thing.
We'll do our
Karen, are you excited? Are you excited? You're not going to have to talk about the show anymore?
I am excited, and yet it seems to be clearly set up for a second season. But maybe yeah. All right, Jamie. Final season finale of what's it called? The Last Frontier.
The Last Frontier. So now I do not really have to be careful.
You just have the 5 or 6 photos from the download.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull it up so we at least have something.
How did you like the way it ended, Jamie?
Look, I'm not sure. I kind of feel more than one way about it, because I think it could be interesting, but I don't know that I need it. Like, it could have ended. We didn't really need it to keep continuing the way that it has. But I see now how it was. Like, I think that, that was obviously the plan from the beginning. And I could see how it could continue. But I just, like, when I first saw it, because I had just seen it and I enjoyed it and that, like, I was okay with it. But now that I've stepped away from it, it's kind of like, I don't know that I care anymore.
I agree. I think this show doesn't need a second season. It ended with the bad people kind of getting away, but I'm okay. It was a good ending. The way they maybe got away, maybe didn't, right? The way
I don't know that we really need. I mean, I don't know that we really need more of that.
No, and I think a second season of Frank chasing Levi is more of the same and not that interesting, right? Like, do I want to watch another season of that? It wasn't that great this season. I wish it would have ended as it could have been a really final. And look, if it's not renewed yet. If it doesn't get renewed, I'm totally okay with the way this ended, right?
Yeah.
But when I saw that Levi was alive and calling Frank, I was like, "Oh, please no, come on," right?
Yeah, it's a little far-fetched, but yeah, like I said, I see it and it makes sense, and I can see where they're going. I just don't know that
it makes sense if you're a corporate money maker.
Yeah.
As a reader, I'm not sure it makes sense for me to watch more of that, right? As a watcher, as an audience, I'm like, I don't know if I. But as a person,
do I really
yeah.
need that? Not really.
Yeah. So anyway, this episode resumes at the dam, right? It resumes where Schofield and Levi have set up. They've lured. What's her name? They've lured their boss. I forgot her name. Banfield. They've lured her there because they have a whole setup.
Yeah. I like how they got everybody to turn on her. I thought that was pretty cool because they're getting everybody to see what she's doing.
She's a horrible person, so I like that also. They basically called all their fellow operators like, guess what? She wants to kill you. And they're like, wait, what? We'll be there. I like that.
No, Bradford. Sorry, Bradford.
Bradford, yeah.
I like how they tricked her. I mean, I like the showdown, but it's just taken so long to get there. I feel like
there have been a lot of distractions, this show could have been like 6 episodes and way tighter. And and we have this whole thing with all the fighting and the yelling and the blah, blah, and 2 like powerful women.
I mean, it's got good fight scenes between them. I mean, it was I said, the action was good, but
I actually like this part. So I didn't love all the fight scenes, but I love this part where they fall over the edge of the dam, and they're both holding the same rope. So if one goes down, the other goes down, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's kind of balanced it, and
I kind of liked how that worked out. That was kind of a cool stunt. It ends a little quickly, but I thought that was a good stunt. I didn't love how, when Sydney gets to the top, I'm like, wait, it's 22 degrees and she's holding on to a freezing cold pipe. She'd be dead in a second. But, right? AJ, you didn't watch it. AJ just piped in there for a second.
Yeah. Well, but we know this isn't always the most,
realistic. I mean, I've complained.
I didn't know the blog said that. I just saw that now they're already writing not that we're still talking about Pluribus, but they're already writing season 2 of Pluribus.
Hello, yes, hello.
Next month it'll be renewed, and just because they're starting to write it doesn't necessarily mean it's been officially renewed, but hopefully it will be.
I've complained that I felt like Alaska wasn't much of a part, and like that you could be like holding on to a freezing cold pipe in 20-degree weather, and somehow you hold it with no gloves because it's a show, right? Not because it's real. And in the end we'll talk about it in a second, but I always felt like they didn't really. Alaska was only part of it when it had to be part of it, right? Yeah. And it wasn't this episode. It was great in this episode.
Yeah, it just they should have done it a little bit more through through the rest of the episodes. But I did like that he in the end let her go.
What do you think about the whole like dog sledding thing?
I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since.
What happens is like she's been stabbed in the gut by so Bradford stabs her in the gut, right? And they have this whole fight over and then in the end Bradford dies, and Levi saves her, but she's been stabbed in the I think she's been stabbed in the liver, and that's why she's bleeding.
Yeah, and he has to take her.
Well, they end up taking her to this and that place. In the end, she's the only way because of the weather and the roads and blah blah, and because of the show, the only way she moved is by dog sled. And for some reason, Frank drives the dog sled. Right? They're not like this guy who owns the dogs, who's like what? I'm like, wait, Frank also can drive dogs. He's a very. Yeah. It's not. I
don't think anybody else would have wanted to take her, maybe, but
I don't think every person in Alaska just knows how to like do that, right?
No, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about.
No, I did like
only because I didn't think about it.
They put Frank on the dog sled, and they did have a lot of like slow-mo shots and a very sort of it's the season finale, and so we had a lot of good shots of Frank in slow-mo, like driving the dog sled, very Alaska, very cool. It did look nice.
It did, but I remember thinking, there's no way she survives bouncing around like that on the dog sled.
It's just like, Frank knows how to drive a dog sled. Frank can. So we've seen Frank drive a car, shoot a gun. We've seen him fly a helicopter, drive a dog sled. Like he can do anything, Frank. It's a little right?
Yep.
And he drives a dog sled. I did kind of like Jamie though, that it like I've complained about Alaska not being enough, and in the last episode, they make it like, like dogs are the only way to save her, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger part of the show in this last episode. I think they just should have done that more throughout. I think we both agree with that.
I think so too. Because the last line of the show was like, "Oh, Alaska got him. Alaska got him."
Yeah,
did Alaska get him?
Yeah, and like I said, I like that, he let her go and everything in the end, and I liked the way they wrapped it up, or the way I thought they wrapped it up.
She gets arrested and taken.
Well, no, but I mean, he lets her sneak away though, right? I'm trying to remember. Doesn't he?
No. She in the final scene is her being taken away in shackles. He doesn't let her get away. He brings her in like he said he would. And do you remember that Levi? They think he's dead. Like his body is burned up in a car. And Frank's like, "Oh, you better check that's really him, because I don't really trust that." And in the end, you see that he's alive, that Levi's alive, and that he might
slip away. Yeah, I clearly don't remember.
In the end, Schofield is being taken away to be transferred to prison, and you're supposed to be something that Levi might try to bust her out.
Yeah, which is probably what's going to happen if they have a season 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember thinking that the ending was okay, and then like they tacked on this him calling him, and
I thought the ending would be kind of good. That like Schofield's arrested, she's got to take her chance. Like she's sacrificing herself, which is her point. And that probably her boyfriend is dead, but maybe he's alive. And I liked the ending also. I thought it could have ended as
it could have been a little more open-ended. We didn't have to have this. I mean, look, they still could have maybe had a season 2, but we didn't have to have sort of this extra story tacked on in order to make a season 2. Like but again, it just felt like extra we didn't necessarily need. It's not that it was bad. It's just, it was enough. Like, I don't feel like I need.
And do you remember the whole, like, Frank's wife and his kid are like, "Oh, by the way, Dad," like that whole bit where he had that daughter who died and you have this gun, and
and
Frank's like, "I'll turn myself in." Like, no, don't turn yourself in. Like, throw the gun away. And they have this.
Got away with it. Well, let's move on.
And we obviously know that could come back next season.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know how it did though. I mean, did the show do well? Is it likely it'll get another season? I don't know if it did.
I don't know, because like Apple doesn't really have to show streaming numbers, right? They don't do on these streamers.
Right.
You don't really know. I mean, I think it's not the best thing I've seen on this show. I don't think it really warrants a second season. They might give it, but I think that I would have preferred it to end like and be done. But you never know. Like people.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, overall, I think the actiony part, the spy part, I enjoyed. Was it always perfect and fit together perfect? No, but I still felt like even if I enjoyed it, like I don't know, I just didn't feel like I needed more. I think
that spy part is essentially wrapped up, right? So what's for next season? Nothing.
I mean, they
trying
were
to rest them.
I'm guessing the point is that he breaks her out, but yeah, there would have to be more of a spy story to it that's new. I don't know what that would be.
Because just trying to apprehend those two is not that interesting.
No, it's not.
So is there a story? I don't know. I don't know if there's a story, but
yeah, I don't know.
Anyhow.
Yeah, because otherwise, what are they going to do? Like, they can't just have it about catching other criminals either, because like they've been there, done that. Like, I don't know how they would. Yeah, I'm not sure how they would change things. So
yeah,
wait and see.
All right.
I think that was good, short and to the point.
Yep, we're done with that. We'll see if it comes back.
Yep.
It does. Yep.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess that's it till Thursday. Everybody, make sure you join us Thursday night. I guess we're good. I don't know if we're doing
a really deep dive, right?
Yeah, even deeper dive into Stranger Things, the second 2 episodes, or the third and fourth episode. I assume, unless we hear otherwise, I don't know if we're going to move to 10 or we're going to do 9:30 again. So just check Discord for the schedule. But
all right, for Thursday.
We'll definitely be Thursday night for Stranger Things, and then we'll be back again, Scarlett and I, on Monday for the 3rd episode of The Artist, finally. And
Next
yeah, I don't know. And let's see, next week on this show we have Pluribus. I think that's it, isn't it?
Well, we'll see what else we can come up with.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Oh, I know what we'll have.
Stranger Things.
Percy Jackson.
Oh yeah, Percy Jackson is good.
I think that was on. I think it's on today.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll have the beginning
Yes,
of
that'll
that.
be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys mentioned Doc's comment about they're already writing season 2 of Pluribus. However, the article I read today, we're probably not going to get it until December of 27.
But has it been renewed officially?
No.
Or is it just
Yeah, they renewed it. They renewed it the same day that the first episode premiered.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten about that.
But yeah,
Okay.
no, the article I was reading is basing it on they started writing it in February of 24, and we got it in November of 20.
I would say, as a person who watches TV, I think a 2-year wait is.
I'm not disagreeing.
Oh my god!
But they're basing it.
How long
Yeah,
Severance is going to be now?
The post production of Pluribus apparently took longer than the writing and filming.
Oh yeah.
So unless they find a way to speed up the post production, that's why this article is guessing. Like it's not an official thing that it won't be
Why
until
does it
December
need so
7th.
much post though? It's not that effective.
I don't know.
But every show uses post now in ways that they used to just do, like spend the money on like extras or whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, apparently Pluribus cost $13 million an episode.
I just don't understand why, but okay.
Lots of extras. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. According to Internet Movie Database, it was today, Golden Child for Percy Jackson. I question though, do you have to have seen the other seasons? Because I ain't gonna go back.
So. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but the kids' books have been a little
Percy
bit.
Well, I mean, there's only the second season. I mean, it was what 8 to 10 episodes.
8 maybe. You could easily watch the first season, but I think you might not have to watch the.
I just don't know that I'd have time before our show. But there's 3. Is there 2 or 3? No, okay, there's 2. It's just the way they listed it.
It'll be okay if you just want to jump in. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I just don't think that before next week I'm going to have time to watch 8 episodes plus.
All right. Well, that's cool. You don't have to.
What else? With genre shows, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Nothing right now, I guess.
We're good right now, but we'll please everybody in the chat let us know. Or go on Discord, let us know if there's stuff you want to watch.
Yeah, 8 episodes.
Us to cover. And if you haven't, make sure you join our Discord and you can get our schedule there. And I did post it and talk to us and let us know what you want to see. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to SciFi Vision, and if you have a hype button, hit it, please. It always helps us out and is greatly appreciated. And until then, I guess we'll see you on Thursday. And we will at some point, when I can do it. We will have a watch party for the Stranger Things play. I do think that that'd be a good idea to watch to get some of that backstory.
We've got some time before the next one at Christmas or New Year's.
Make sure.
All right.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Night, all.
Night.